a call to order at 6:06 p.m. I'm going to ask our city manager to please do the Pledge of Allegiance for today. And we have Ruben Sanders, a pastor from Ocean Gate, doing the invocation. So we have the invocation first. Ruben Sanders, is he available? Okay, if not, I'm going to ask our city attorney, David Caceres, to do it for us today. The invocation part, please.
All right, if everyone can please bow their heads. Dear Lord, thank you very much for all that you have done for this city and bestowed on this city council to exercise its prudence and wise decision-making. And we are just very grateful for everything that you have bestowed on the city. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. Can we have our veterans stand first, please? To recognize our veterans. Thank you for your service. With that, is everyone else? Oh. With that, if we can have everyone stand, face the flag, right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all for being here today. Madam Clerk, can you read the roll call, please?
Councilmember Johnson?
Present.
Councilmember Manning? Here. Councilmember Reyes-English?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Montero?
Present.
And Mayor Vargas?
Here. Okay. We have two, I'm going to waive the reading of the rules of decorum, but just everybody please be mindful. We have presentations from Mayor Pro Tem. I think we have one from you. Go ahead. The restaurant week.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, good evening, everyone. As you know, about last month we did a restaurant week in the city of Hawthorne I think for the first time, and it was very successful. And we had a dozen of restaurants participated in the restaurant week, and we want to show our appreciation. So we got the Bake and Coffee, we got Dino's Burgers, El Tarasco, Fishbone, Mi California, Mi Zacatecas, Medici, Pizza Show, SoCal Wind, SoCal Cafe, Tatas, Wingstop, and Ziggy Coffee. So all these general restaurants and coffee places give us a wonderful experience. Like that week we went and eat 3-4 times a day. I gained 5 pounds, so that was a good thing. And we showcase all of them in our social media, from our TV, Channel 22, and also to the YouTube and the communication department did an outstanding job interviewing people, eating, and they had a menu for $10. So, and the food was delicious everywhere we go. So we got a certificate of appreciation. So I'm going to call the names, and then we can come in right here, and then we'll give you all the certificates, and then we'll take some pictures. But I have to say that restaurant week was a brilliant idea from our city manager, and he put a team together that make that possible. So again, let's give a round of applause to the team that put together. So, and the Soft Cafe lady just came in, but she's feeling a little bit sick, so I gave her a certificate in private, but I promised her that next week I'm gonna go to Soft Cafe and we can take a picture together, okay? So now, Pizza Show, come on down, please. Yeah, I want them right here in the middle so we didn't, yeah. El Tarasco. No El Tarasco? El Tarasco, go once? Oh, they're going to get fired. I'm joking. Bake and Coffee?
They couldn't make it.
Oh, okay, so we have to make some trips. We're going to eat again. SoCal Wings? All right. Okay, so I'm gonna just come on in this way, please. Mi California. I didn't see Victor. Okay. Wingstop. Okay, it's here. Fishbone. No, I don't see Derek over here. Uh-huh. Ziggy Coffee. I didn't see Ziggy Coffee either. Dino's Burgers. All right, I know the manager over there. All right, so my colleagues, can you join me, please, and we can take some pictures?
I see you. All right, so just make sure you guys are looking right in here. And in 3, 2, 1. Stay right there. I'm gonna take a few more. 3, 2, 1. And last set. 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Quick question. I just want to establish, I want to make sure I'm fair.
So just FY that we will do this again. We'll do this again probably soon. If it's not, maybe we'll do during June when the FIFA World Cup is here. Soccer. Oh, we saw some. Oh, Derek, I'll call your name. We gotta go there. Fishbone is here.
Fishbone, come on up. I was there a
This
couple
is
of
Derek
days ago.
Fishbone. Louisiana style.
I was there a couple of days ago getting my catfish.
All right, look right in here. And in 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you.
All right, again, thank you very much because it's very important for us to eat and dine in Hawthorne because, sales tax for us is very important. The more you go eat, more sales tax we'll get and more revenue for us to fix the potholes, all the other infrastructure, okay? So we have to maintain the spirit alive. Continue to eat in Hawthorne. Thank you. Any comment from my colleagues?
To the chair.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you. To everyone who participated in Restaurant Week, congratulations, and thank you so much for just your commitment to the community in providing various foods, if you might, if you will. I had a good time myself going out and trying some food. There's some that I missed, but definitely going to hit you up. I went to Zacatecas today. That's one I missed, but this morning, I had breakfast there this morning, and, we want to keep our dollars in Hawthorne. We need to expand and grow. Hopefully, there's, lots of great things coming in the future with regards to new developments and projects and things. And who knows, maybe you guys could become a 1, a 2, or 3 restaurant in Hawthorne. We definitely need you. I don't think, I'm going to say it, I don't think I need 5 McDonald's. I want to try various foods. So thank you again to all of those that helped, and Vaughn for your leadership and all the help from the city. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I echo what my colleague said, and I just want to say I'm making my way around. So I've gone to SoCal Wings, and I've gone to the creamy egg rolls. Oh my God, they're to die for. I think I've had some twice this week. Not a good thing. Um, and I went to Fishbone, so I'm making my rounds again. And then when I finish everybody, I'm going to go back around again. Because the food was really good, like my colleagues mentioned. It was really good. It was such a great experience. And I'm so glad that our city manager came up with the idea. And I just love for us to do it again. And also, I have to give shout outs to Eric and his team for doing those awesome social media reels. They were amazing, and they definitely highlighted all of your businesses. And so we appreciate them too. Thank you.
Thank you all for participating, all the restaurants that helped out, and looking forward to joining my council colleague, Katrina Manning, on her little tour there. So hopefully you guys still have those discounts in place, though. All right, thank you guys. Let's give them another round of applause, please. Councilwoman Katrina Manning, you have item number 2.
Sure. So in our last council meeting, we were talking about, I specifically was asking, what are some of the things that our police department is doing to prepare for FIFA, the Olympics, and all of those things coming. And so we're going to call up the Chief Lane to talk about some of those items. Thank you, Chief.
Good evening. We actually have a presentation prepared by Sergeant Kemp, who has been spending a lot of time up in Inglewood preparing with the Inglewood Police Department regarding the upcoming FIFA event.
All right, good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, elected officials, and community members. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for the opportunity to provide an overview of the Hawthorne Police Department's preparation for the 2026 FIFA World Cup and the broader regional impact the event is expected to have on our city. A little bit of history, though, with our department in the city of Inglewood and their police department. It really actually goes back many years before any of us are in our current roles here today. However, in 2020, or prior to that, when the former Hollywood Park racetrack was purchased, the area began its transformation at that time into one of the region's premier sports and entertainment destinations. With that development, their city, their police department, and their city council and leadership recognized that they needed to find more help in the public safety aspect of things. With their city's guidance, their police chief began to reach out to local agencies and multiple departments. For various reasons, some of them were unable to fulfill that request. Former Chief Mike Ishii, though, recognized the significance of that opportunity, and he quickly signed up Hawthorne with your guys' help, many of you in the room, your guys' support and the city leadership. Our department was able to step forward and began being basically a public safety partner with Inglewood PD at these major venues. Since 2021, beginning with an LMU graduation on the heels of the COVID pandemic, Hawthorne has maintained a visible and consistent presence at major events in Inglewood. Since that time, there's been a footprint of Hawthorne at all of these events, including sporting events, concerts, entertainment gatherings throughout the area. Our officers serve in these environments first and foremost as protectors of public safety. At the same time, they also serve as ambassadors for our department and our city. Their professionalism, preparedness, and conduct reflect positively on Hawthorne and demonstrate the forward-thinking support by our city staff and elected officials. This partnership has also provided a meaningful recruitment benefit. Being a part of our recruitment team since 2021, under the leadership of Captain Port and working side by side with Lieutenant Kenny Craig, I can honestly say that one of our major recruiting tools is our relationship with Inglewood and the opportunities it provides us. allowing officers to operate in a professional, high visibility, and highly coordinated environment. This strengthens our ability to compete for strong candidates in a highly competitive, challenging hiring market at this time in law enforcement. While SoFi is often most visible part of this partnership, our officers also regularly support events at Intuit Dome, Kia Forum, YouTube Theater, and at times City of Englewood community events as well. Each of these assignments gives Hawthorne an opportunity to demonstrate the quality personnel and the strength of our partnership and commitment to regional public safety. All right, now turning to FIFA. Let me go back. So the 2026 FIFA World Cup will be one of the largest international sporting events in the world. It will be hosted across North America with 11 host cities in the United States, including Los Angeles, 3 in Mexico, and 2 in Canada. While the official host cities will serve as match locations and the impact of the World Cup will extend, the official host cities will serve as the match locations, the impact of the World Cup will extend far beyond the pitch. In addition to the host venues, there will be surrounding regions directly affected by the tournament operations and the related activities. At this time, I'm limited in some of what I can share publicly, however, in certain operational details. It is important, though, to note that there will be practice locations and designated home base sites spread throughout Southern California and the greater Los Angeles region. What that means for Hawthorne is significant. Although we are not an official host city, our location places us right in the hotbed in the footprint of the surrounding events. As a result, our community, our police department, and everything around us will be positioned near the heart of the World Cup here in Southern California. It places also an opportunity and responsibility for our city, and that preparation has started well in advance. So for us in Hawthorne, we should expect that even though the matches themselves are held in Englewood, the impact of the transportation corridors, local businesses, hotels, and surrounding jurisdictions will be substantial. Because of this anticipated influx, planning has not been reactive, it's been deliberate, coordinated, and ongoing. For approximately the last year, biweekly meetings or planning meetings have taken place with Los Angeles Metro and transportation stakeholders. Those meetings have focused on one of the most important aspects of the event, which is how people will get there safely. Public transit is expected to be one of the primary means of transportation during the World Cup period, and that makes Hawthorne and the surrounding South Bay region especially important within the broader transportation network. As part of that regional strategy, parking and transit access points are expected to experience a substantial activity. This includes our metro stations, so Crenshaw 120th, the 405 Marine Corridor, and the Lenox Station near Imperial and Hawthorne. They're all expected to see an increase in both parking and pedestrian presence. In addition to transportation planning, the level of coordination already taking place has been extensive. Over the last several months, meetings have occurred all at the local, state, federal, and international levels with partners throughout the world. This event is not being approached in isolation. It's being approached through comprehensive, collaborative, and strategic planning processes that are recognized, that recognize the scale of the event and the regional readiness. That collaboration extends well past just law enforcement. Our partnership with Englewood in support of stadium operations and city events has strengthened communication not only between police agencies, but also multiple city departments, including Public Works, other municipal partners, whose roles will be essential in traffic management, infrastructure, access control, and event readiness. We also need to recognize that the impact of these operations will not just be limited to the host venues, but surrounding jurisdictions, as I mentioned. For that reason, we've also made an emphasis on concentrating on patrol staffing and operational readiness to remain a key part of our planning. We continue to evaluate staffing needs and maintain communication with neighboring agencies and identify ways to support one another through this regional partnership. That cooperative approach will be critical in ensuring that all agencies are positioned to respond effectively and maintain day-to-day duties. Another important area that we need to focus on in our city is our airport. Given its location and likelihood that the aviation activity will increase during the World Cup, proactive communication has already taken place. I want to specifically acknowledge Airport Manager Guido Fernandez for helping ensure that the police department remains informed regarding this anticipated activity or the anticipated activity levels at the airport. That type of partnership is exactly the kind of forward thinking and coordination that will be necessary as we move closer to the event. In addition, constant communication is also maintained with our businesses, including SpaceX, through Captain Port. Everyone here understands the significance of the sensitive facilities that SpaceX has throughout our city, and that communication is vital in our daily duties. Leading me into my next critical point, which is our real-time information center, real-time intelligence center. As many of you are aware, the build-out of our RTIC has been underway over the past several years as a broader effort to strengthen our public safety and capabilities throughout real-time operational awareness. As we prepare for the increase in regional activity associated with the 2026 World Cup, that investment will play an important role in keeping us all safe in the community and operationally ready. The technology systems and infrastructure developed through the RTIC will be actively utilized to enhance situational awareness, support field operations, and assist with timely decision-making during periods of peak demand. Whether related to traffic impacts, public safety concerns, or regional event activity, the RTIC will serve an important force multiplier for our department. It's also important to recognize that much of this capability has been made possible through strategic use of outside funding sources, which all of you helped approve, including our UASI and JAG grants funds. Those investments are now being translated into public safety tools such as automated license plate readers, camera equipment, camera trailers, and other operational resources that will directly benefit the community and surrounding areas. This work has truly been a team effort. I would like to extend a special thanks to our information technology staff, who has a heavy lift behind the scenes. So publicly, I just want to take a second to recognize and thank Josh, Eric, George, Connor, Edwin, and Ian for their continued support and expertise throughout this process. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Felice Lopez, the Director of Finance, Miguel, and their entire finance team for their partnership and assistance with helping move these funds forward. Their support has been instrumental in turning this vision into a functional and valuable public safety asset for our city. So in our city and the impact that we expect, preparation includes direct communication with our city businesses, community partners, and expertise. That includes our hotels where communication has already been established with appropriate staff so we can monitor activity levels, identify emerging needs, and maintain situational awareness. One of these examples is that I've been in communication with Mark, who's the general manager right across the street at the Courtyard Marriott, who stated that they've already seen a major increase in their bookings, which is actually outside of their expected window. So we're also mindful that it will create gathering opportunities well beyond the stadium, including local businesses and restaurants that will be viewing the matches. In addition, we are also evaluating the potential impacts with fan marches, traffic overflow, parking demands, and the broader use of public transit. These issues are all interconnected, and each of the has potential to affect our quality of life. So one thing for our residents is to know that on match days, we should have an idea and a plan that it's going to be a little bit more crowded. I also want to recognize, though, the proactive work that's already being done by our department, specifically in our Traffic Bureau and our Community Affairs Unit. First, with our Traffic Bureau, under the leadership of Lieutenant Murray, Sergeant Cruz, Officer Jimenez, and the rest of the traffic team, they're already out utilizing Office of Traffic Safety grant funding to conduct traffic safety operations now, which is well in advance of the World Cup. However, the effect of them being out there will have a positive effect at the time of those matches. Second, I would like to recognize our Community Affairs Unit led by Lieutenant Saldana and Sergeant Espinoza. As the council is well aware and just had a presentation on last meeting, their partnership with Licata, Dulce, and her homeless outreach team are having positive effects now. That collaboration is especially important as we prepare for the increased activity leading up to and during the major events. We understand at the department that the regional impacts may further affect vulnerable populations, including individuals who may become unhoused or displaced during that time. In response, our police department is working proactively with outreach partners now to identify needs early, connect individuals with services, and provide support during these challenging times. Our goal is to approach this issue with both compassion and practicality, helping those who are impacted remain safe and connecting them with available resources. It's another example of how our preparation is not limited to just enforcement, but also includes partnership, outreach, and thoughtful planning for the broader community impacts these events may bring. Finally, I also want to talk about financial planning. As mentioned earlier, in close collaboration with the Finance Department, Captains Port and Shimono have worked diligently to develop a responsible estimate of costs that we anticipate in connection with these operations. That planning is important because it allows the city to approach the event with clear expectations and sound fiscal awareness. Our goal has been to ensure that operational readiness is matched by responsible financial planning. It is also important to recognize that reimbursed overtime associated with Inglewood events over the past 5 years has resulted in millions of dollars being reimbursed to the city of Hawthorne by the city of Inglewood. That history demonstrates both the scale of these regional operations and the value of Hawthorne's continued partnership in supporting them. One thing I also want to mention is that when we bill them typically monthly, and we're paid back within 90 days. I also want to be clear that our staffing requests are made responsibly and appropriately, always with the needs of our agency and our community in mind. For major events at SoFi, our typical staffing model consists of 1 lieutenant, 4 sergeants, and 22 officers. That deployment level is intentional and it ensures that we maintain proper supervision, effective command and control, and situational awareness while supporting safe and efficient operations. In addition, the recently renegotiated reimbursement rates fully cover our personnel costs on an hourly basis. That is a significant factor in our planning and helps ensure that the city is appropriately compensated for the resources that are being deployed. Taken together, this reflects a balanced approach, one that supports regional public safety, protects Hawthorne operational needs, and demonstrates the use of our city resources. In closing, the 2026 FIFA World Cup will be a global event, but its impact will be felt here really and truly locally in the city of Hawthorne. Hawthorne is positioned within the much larger footprint, and because of that, preparation matters. The good news, though, is that preparation has been well underway for some time. Through strong partnerships, strategic planning, technology, investments, communication with businesses and community stakeholders, and ongoing coordination with local, state, federal, and international partners, Hawthorne is taking a proactive approach to ensuring that we are ready. Our focus remains clear: protecting public safety, supporting our community, maintaining operational readiness, and doing so in a way that is collaborative, responsible, and forward-thinking. And thank you very much for your continued support, and thank you for the opportunity to provide this update here today. I think that's it.
To the chair.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Thank you so much, Chief Lane and your team, for being proactive. This is why we are the best in the South Bay, and obviously you can see folks are always asking us to come out and support. So with that, I have a few questions. One in particular, I know that you guys have a contract with Inglewood, but how will you be able to sustain at home as well as support Inglewood as well during those events?
Yeah, so to make it perfectly clear, our priority is here. We will make sure that we have staffing here within our city, first and foremost, whether whatever the request may be from the city of Inglewood. But the staffing is being done. I can tell you that I am working side by side with Captain Shimono daily, and I can put you that even today we put out just an interest to try to balance exactly how many people we'll be able to provide for each event while maintaining day-to-day functions here within the city.
Also, my next question is, have Inglewood shared with you any type of road closure? I was just thinking folks are going to try to get to work, and we know that no matter what, they're going to have to deal with traffic. And so I'm wondering, are there any alternative routes that has been discussed? Any road closures that have been discussed that maybe today or later that you can share with us so that we can make sure that our community know that maybe there's a better alternative route to get out of the city to get to work.
Yeah, so some of that is still fluid at this time as far as routes that are going to be taken in and out of the area to get to travel to and from the stadium. Like I stated earlier, public transit is actually the thing being pushed the most, and it will be the easiest way to get there. One of the things with the road closures, though, I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier with as far as fan marches. I will say that they're kind of unpredictable. We don't really know. I do know that the host committee through FIFA is in communication with a lot of these countries that are going to be playing here, and they're trying to get as much communication and pre-planning from them. However, it's still undetermined at this time. When we get closer, and obviously what we can share, we will make sure that our community members are prepared.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much for your presentation. I have a series of 4 questions.
Yes, sir.
So I think it's great that we have SoFi and YouTube and the Kia Forum all set up and everything, but you used the word mutual aid. My understanding of mutual aid, and I think mutual aid is when there's an emergency situation that we're going to go out and help because it's an emergency situation and we're going to back our fellow cities up in emergency situations. But for them to develop this entertainment zone and the sports centers, that's an elective thing. That's something they chose for their economic benefit. And so my question, so I just want to make that distinction. My question is, and if anybody could answer it, I mean, I have 3 others that are built on this one. How many officers do they use, and what's the percentage of officers that are from the Inglewood Police Department that are serving their extra duty? Compared to those from our cities and any other neighboring jurisdictions. And if you don't have this information, just let me know that you're going to bring it back to me.
Yeah, so I can answer that twofold. It really depends on the event. As far as like a typical NFL staffing, I know that in theory there's about 120 law enforcement personnel there. And that's mixed between us, the Sheriff's Department, Inglewood PD, and as well as CHP. And then as far as with concerts, it varies depending on the amount of tickets sold, who the performer is, also the details that they bring with them. Some of them have teams that will come in that are going to do t-shirt enforcement for people that are selling fraudulent shirts. So that might bring another team of 10 people in. Really the number's pretty fluid and fluctuates quite a bit.
How many people do we have out there?
Typically at an NFL event, the request is 27
For us,
for our department. However, I will say that we don't always send 27. And one thing that under our leadership here is that I don't think we've ever mandated anyone to work over there except for maybe the Super Bowl back in, was it 2022 or 2023?
Okay. So, no, thank you for that information. Deployment in the city of Hawthorne, how many people do we have on hand, on an average shift here?
Depends on the day, really, to be honest. And then, because during the week we have our normal patrol staffing, and then as well as multiple other units that are out on the road. And then I don't know if we really even want to say that number, because I guarantee when we go to the high school.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I mean, actually, if we need to be protective about that.
When we go to the high school, though, and you ask the high school kids, they always tell us there's 100 cops working in Hawthorne at a time, and we like that.
They're always watching behind their back, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so you answered regular deployment 20 to 27. I said, what is the anticipated increase in numbers for this for the FIFA games, for the World Cup games? Do you think? You said 120 LE plus 10, on average for like some of these football games. What do you think it's going to increase to? Double? 1.5, 1.5, or what?
I really don't know yet, because I can tell you right now, I don't think Inglewood knows either, because all the funding from it comes behind FIFA, right?
Uh-huh.
So they kind of push really what the number may be. We're just not there yet, and we don't know. I can tell you that we're going to maintain the same model that we've had, in the aspect of we're not going to mandate. We're going to take what we can and deploy over there. And then, but first and foremost, we're going to deploy what we need to here in the city. And a lot of that will be determined within the next 2 months, really based on traffic at the airport, communication continuing with the hotels and all of our local businesses here.
Thank you for mentioning all that, or responding to my questions. And I liked what you responded to my colleague, that our priority is Hawthorne and serving Hawthorne, protecting Hawthorne, and not depleting, not affecting our patrols and our activity here. So thank you.
Sir.
That's it for me.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Sergeant Kent, for the wonderful presentation. Because I know, you guys do outstanding work in our city, and of course the Module 8 and then the SO 5, so you guys have been doing that fantastic job there. Actually, yesterday I had a conversation with Mayor Butt, right? Jim Butt from Inglewood, because I'm trying to get a meeting with his staff and the transportation consultant that he has to make sure to talk about transportation in particular, and also to address some parking issues that's going to come about, because the security for the even FIFA World Cup and the LA 28, it's going to be big, especially what's going on in the world. This games is going to be very well secure, and they're going to have perimeters that's going to be surround some of these venues, right? So it's good to know that we are ready, one step ahead of everybody, because like you said, we are the hotbed of this entertainment that's coming to our cities, because Inglewood is only half a mile away from us. So we need to develop our own strategy, how to control traffic, and how to control all these pedestrians, because we're going to have millions of people coming to the South Bay. So now I'm just going to give you a piece of information that I learned yesterday that blew me out of the water. For not talk about the FIFA, but talk about LA 28. What the Metro and the whole LA 28 is thinking is to create a perimeter from the venues 1 mile away. So nobody, all the parking structure, for example, at the SoFi, at Whitney Dome, will not be parking for nobody. So they're going to have like almost, they're talking about 1 mile perimeter that nobody will drive there. The buses will not drive there, so they'll drop people 1 mile away from any venue in LA County. Of course, SoFi, we see, is half a mile from us, right? So when you're thinking about that, that means everybody's going to come to Hawthorne, Lenox, Gardena, Lawndale, and then they're going to be walking, because even the bus is not going to drop them over there. So, and then they're expecting about 750,000 people a day to go to those venues. About a total of 50 million people coming. So that's what we were talking about. We have to do something about parking, and I'm glad that tonight we're going to vote on that. And then we have to come up with Inglewood to strategize how we're going to deal with the transportation and parking, because like you said, we got 105, the Lenox station. A lot of people think it's in Lenox, but it's in Hawthorne. The Marine station, they call it Redondo Beach, and it's in Hawthorne. The Douglas station is just 2 blocks from Del Air and West Burns, right? So we are surrounding of the 405, 105, and when people are going to learn that they cannot go to those venues and park, and they have to walk 1 mile, and guess where they're going to park? In our city. Okay, so that is what we need to plan. And I'm glad that you're 1 step ahead, and because more headaches are coming. And it's going to be an economic advantage, because it's estimated that this area is going to come up with $2 billion economic benefit. So that is where we want people to come to our city, but we have to have the whole infrastructure, the parking, the security, the hotels. So we want them to come, the restaurants, right? Get ready, because we're going to have a lot of fun. And, for the FIFA World Cup, we're going to have a watch party in our city, because a ticket to the SoFi to watch the game is, the cheapest one was $2,500, $2,500. I cannot afford to go to that game. So I'm going to come to one of these watch parties right here in our city. right? So we're going to do those for the people. And then we're going to have a lot of fans that's coming from outside the United States that is not going to be able to go to those games, but they're going to find parties, the watch parties. And that's actually what some mayors, especially Karen Bass from LA, is saying, create watch parties. And one of the things that I was very disappointed in, that's what I want to talk to Jim Budd, the mayor of Inglewood, because the Metro is going to spend almost $140 million to create these mobility hubs and water station, what do you call it? Canopies, shade structure, and even bathroom structure, cooling station, everything. But believe it or not, the only place that they're going to do something is in Carson. Nothing in this area. And the farthest thing is going to be east of us, Downey, some other cities. They're going to create all these things, but they didn't put one dime in Lenox or Hawthorne or Gardena or Lawndale. So they expect us to do something about parking, about safety, about that, and then they're not giving us the money. So that's what I said. I had to bring the big guns. And that's what we're going to be all together have to advocate for our city and for this area, because we're going to be in trouble. Because people are going to use our roads. The road's going to be more potholes that we have to fix, more police officers on the street that we have to pay over time. So we need to get some money too. So I know it's not your problem, right? But I'm just telling you that get ready because we're going to have issues. And that is what they're looking at FIFA 26 as almost like a pilot for what's coming in 2028. And then of course they have only 2 years, right? Because then 2026 is FIFA, 2027 is the Super Bowl, and then 2028 is the Olympic that they said is compared to 7 Super Bowl in 2 weeks. So we need to get ready, and I'm glad you're getting ready. And for the residents of Hawthorne, so when we over here, 5 of us making decision to protect our city or to put parking meter in our streets is to protect you and to generate income that is going to be able for us to create parking structure down the future for your benefit. And even we need to start talking about how we're going to create revenues, and one of them is the Trans-Oriental Taxes, TOT. A lot of the cities are increasing that because the people that is coming outside from the other countries, the one who's going to pay that taxes, not the residents of Hawthorne. So we need to think about that. So thank you.
You're,
To the chair.
yes, go ahead.
Thank you. I feel like there's an echo somewhere. Thank you, Sergeant Kemp, for the presentation. Let me just first acknowledge the efforts that the Hawthorne Police Office Department has along with Inglewood. I think we perceived this many years ago when we heard that they were going to be building out numerous event centers, if you will. And so it's kind of like one of those things that common sense would tell you that they are going to need help regardless, right? I mean, from comrade to comrade in your agency, that's what we're about, right? The shield basically supports the other shield and so on and so on. And as leaders here, we support efforts from our perspectives to the police department, at least I do. Let me just make mention that there's been a lot said already, and it's like we really don't know. That's what we're hoping for through your efforts to go and meet regularly on a regular basis and just bring updates to us. I just want to make sure that the residents of Hawthorne know their rights as a homeowner, as a renter. I want to just let them know that they have every right to protect their driveways, their alleyways, their property, if you will. If you need to take it upon yourself as a property owner to put do not block my driveway or block driveways, please make sure to do that. If you want to put no trespassing signs on your property, you need to do that. The reason I say that is because when you make calls to the police department to report things, you need to be able to say, and more importantly, let the police know that you have a non-trespassing sign at your home and you have no blocked driveways at your home. These are ways to help us because we can't be out there doing everything. I'm talking specifically for the events that are coming here in the next few years. But just making sure you're doing your due diligence as a renter and as a homeowner. And, you know, potential negative impacts that the residents will feel, especially for preferential parking districts that have, you know, the sign, the sticker just for their parking, et cetera. And it's very important if you have extra driveway in your home, if you have an extra, you know, garage or anything, I encourage you to move your cars off the street and use what you have. It's very important. And I also want to just make mention if there is any way of maybe producing PSAs for our residents, public service announcements, announcing on a regular weekly basis as to what's happening. I think that's helpful. If you are a resident of Hawthorne and you listen to Channel 22 and you're constantly, you know, on your app getting general information, especially from our chat bot, 311, I think that's very informative information that we could share along the lines with regards to PSA and other valid and important information for our residents. I can't control what's coming. I can't control the people that's coming to our city, whether they're going to be just driving by, staying, using Airbnbs, using you know, any type of transportation. And by the way, if you need a job, now's your time to go register for Uber, Lyft, and anything else, possibly your own business, and get registered so that you could make some money off of what's coming, because there's a lot of it that's there for you too. So, and that's with job creation. I also want to make sure that the police department is working with our public works department, especially where there is any potential street lighting matters. You know, all we need is for a light to go down or somebody to hit something, and then, you know, we have traffic jams, right? I'm just talking, again, strategy is always good, and not to talk badly, but again, having to meet and bring and walk away with just strategic things that, you know, not knowing is what's important for the residents of Hawthorne. Reimbursements are very important. You know, there was news articles here some time ago that, you know, Hawthorne was paying our police for overtime. Not true. Okay, a lot of the stuff that's out sometimes publicized is just that. They're talking to the side of their neck, don't know what they're talking about. And so let me just make it clear. We have an agreement with the city of Inglewood, and we do get reimbursed. So those police officers that are working are being paid by Inglewood. And so just know that I support that, and that's the only way to do it. If we didn't have that, that agreement, I wouldn't support it. Again, it's very important that we also have, let's see here.
Thank you.
The unknowns, and I talk again, the negative impacts. It's important to just keep our residents safe. It's important to keep our residents informed, because once it's all over with, we're left with the leftovers, right? Whatever that might be. Hopefully it's good revenue leftovers. Hopefully it's not impacts to our roadways and streetways and things like this, sidewalks, curbs, etc. But I like the fact that we are on a regular basis meeting and discussing how we're partnering, and more importantly, the effects to Hawthorne. I'm reading just a little bit as I'm talking to you at the same time. It's from what I understand, it's a collaboration with Canada, Mexico, and also the United States. But there are a host cities divided by FIFA in 3 categories, which includes the Western region, Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Guadalajara. The second region is Central, Kansas City, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Monterrey, and Mexico City. And then the third is Eastern, Toronto, Boston, New York, or it says New, I think they did this wrong, New York, the Jersey thing, right, the Jersey thing. And then there's Miami and Philadelphia. Why do they, no, look at how they have it spelled. There's not a P in here. Okay, never mind. I guess. I say that to say this. There's going to be a lot of excitement in this FIFA. And I'm one that is going to call it as I see it. Mexico is going to be all over the place. And what I mean by that, when you win, Mexico goes crazy. And it's a good thing. But so are some other countries. But I'm talking about what I've seen in history. There's going to be, you know, these types of parades possibly, these types of folks that take it upon themselves to have these big flags hanging out of their cars and driving down the streets and things like this. And we have to just be cautious about that. We have to be cautious about that. Although we celebrate with you and we're excited for you, whoever may win, we also have to think of the people to keep them safe, because there's no way you could have flags hanging out of your car and trying to drive a vehicle and see who's in front of you or behind you or next to you. So again, it's all about keeping everybody safe. The restaurant is going to go, they're going to go crazy with the restaurant world, and there's going to be lines, you know. I just wish we had more restaurants to offer. I really do. But Sergeant Kemp, I'm not going to hold you anymore. Thank you, Chief, for your leadership. I want you to go ahead and continue to report back to us, if you would, please. Work with Public Works. I want to make sure that we're also using the new service that we have, the dedicated team of rapid response to pick up bulky items, trash and debris. The last thing I want is just to see items on the sidewalk, in your alleyways, et cetera. On top of that, vehicles, right? So a clean city is a good city, and that's what I'm working for and hoping that we're all going to do that. We're all going to keep Hawthorne looking good, and we're going to enjoy the FIFA just as any other country. But it is expensive to attend, that's for sure. And hopefully we could use the Hawthorne Memorial Center for watch parties.
Yep, okay.
To the chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Sergeant Kemp.
Yes, ma'am.
I see you grinning over there, like all these things that we expect of you, and you're like, I'm just an officer, you know. So we appreciate you, and the city, I'm sure the city staff hears the expectations that the council has, and a lot of times they preemptively read our minds and give us what we didn't know we needed. So we know you guys are working hard, but I do appreciate the fact that you made it a point in your presentation to let the community know that Hawthorne, our duty day is staffed first, and anyone that is off has the option to do that overtime. That we're taken care of first, and then whatever is required of surrounding areas, that's where we go and do our overtime, but it's reimbursed. So it makes us feel good to know that we're not sacrificing our city to take care of other cities. So I appreciate that. And that's all I have. Thank you very much. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Come back. I need you back here. You're not done yet. I got like 5 things that I need you to work on. No, just kidding. No, I think that my colleagues actually mentioned a lot of great things. The reimbursements were mentioned by my colleague, and I think they need to be timely, because we need to dip into our coffers to be able to pay while we get reimbursed from them. And you say it takes up to 90 days. So I think we need to be very efficient, okay? Because that money needs to be there, because it's money that needs to remain in our investments in its entirety. Maybe it could be anticipated payments to the city so that we can send officers. So maybe it could be done the opposite way, right? As opposed to billing them. If Mexico wins, you're right. You know, it's going to get crazy. And it's not just the soccer game and a friendly game. This is World Cup. And being in the United States, even though I don't think Mexico's going to be playing here in LA, I think that's going to be another scenario that we're going to see you guys planning for with all the local law enforcement teams. So I think that needs to be on your radar, and that has to be looked at, and not just like a month or 2 weeks before, so that there aren't any disturbances. And my colleague did mention with regards to, you know, cars parking in front of your driveways. I have a quick question for you. If somebody blocks my driveway, can I call the tow truck company to remove their car, or do I have to go through you guys first? Well, I already know the answer, but
I believe you can call.
yeah. So
Yeah, you can call, and then you do basically a private impound, but you can also call us depending on time for service and all that.
But
other
I'm
stuff.
pretty sure the tow truck company will be
Oh, yeah.
responsive and come and get that right away,
yeah.
right? So for the residents out there, I've had at least 2 people in the last month that have mentioned the cars blocking the driveway. So you can call the tow truck company, and like I said, they'll be glad to move those people so you can get out of your house so you can go to work and not have to wait for these people to come and move their car, which is kind of insensitive. Along with that, people who are using 2 spaces that are not marked with these T markings and are straddling 2 spaces, that's very inconsiderate and shame on you.
Yes.
Very inconsiderate and shame on you. Okay? You think I think that the city should be imposing these T markings where there's 2 spaces down there because people can't be considerate on their own here in our city. Okay, so you look back there. You look back because you know what I'm talking about, man. It's true. So we're a city of good neighbors. We're not a city of like selfish neighbors. So we need to reconsider. We could discuss that later, right? Not now. And I like that my council member colleague, the mayor pro tem, mentioned this thing about an economic boom for our city, for our region. A lot of money coming in, right? That's, oh wow. For who? For who? For the business owners. Are our employees going to get raises? Are our employees in the region going to be getting bonuses? You guys, right? So for who? For the few or for the people that live in our region that need to get paid extra, maybe bonuses for those specific periods of time, right? So, I mean, I know we're celebrating all this other stuff, but if our community doesn't benefit, more maybe slight increase in taxes to the city so that we could balance our budgets? Okay, but what about I'm looking to try to get people working. People have benefit in our community directly. If it's not going to improve people's lives, what good is, I know, your street's going to look a little bit more paved or cleaner paved or whatever the heck, or redone. But we need to pay the rent, need to pay, put food on the table and do a lot of good things. So I think we need to be conscious of that and push for our local business owners to think about things like that instead. So thank you so much, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's give him a round of applause, All right, that was a good topic, and thank you so much for all that research that you and your team put together. We have Human Resources Director Erica Lampkin doing the Good Neighbor Award. And thank you to all my council colleagues for all their feedback on this item that we just talked about.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and remaining council members. Tonight, I'm going to introduce to you, I only have one here. Introduce to you the Good Neighbor Award nominees. The first one, she could not stay. Her name is Samantha Rojas. Community Service Officer Samantha Rojas is nominated for the Good Neighbor Award by the Police Department. She started in the department in 2025. She immediately made a profound and positive impact. From her first day, Rojas embraced her role with open arms and an impressive willingness to learn. As the first person the public encounters upon entering the station, she serves as the face of the department. She consistently goes above and beyond to ensure every visitor is not only assisted, but also leaves with more information and a better understanding when they arrived. CSO Rojas has a great attitude and dedication. Which has allowed her to quickly become imbued with the culture of the Hawthorne Police Department. She embodies the principles of the community service, and is a true asset to the team and the residents that they serve. The police department is grateful for Samantha's contributions and looks forward to her continued service and dedication to the police department. She is exceptionally deserving to be a candidate for this award. Our next candidate, we can clap for her. Our next candidate is Kyle Bowie. Kyle has served as a building public building permit technician for over 4 years and has consistently demonstrated professionalism, patience, and a strong commitment to customer service. He is well respected by both the public and his colleagues for his knowledge and approachable demeanor. During the nomination period, a resident personally visited the Human Resources Department to commend Kyle for his exceptional service. The resident highlighted his professionalism, cordiality, and his consistent helpful nature over the years. This unsolicited recognition reflects Kyle's dedication to serving the community with integrity and respect. Kyle sets a standard for customer service with the department. His professionalism and positive interactions with the public contribute to increased trust, efficiency, and strong representation for the city of Hawthorne. Kyle's consistency sets him apart. He continually provides exceptional service year after year, as evidenced by direct community praise. His dedication and professionalism make him a valuable asset to the department and the city. Louis, please stand.
Are they here?
Okay. Since becoming a full-time staff member, Louis Godinez has been an exceptional employee. He takes his job very seriously and does all he can to turn in the highest quality work possible. Louis was very instrumental in our Hawthorne Eats Week. Louis was tasked with shooting and editing social media content every day throughout the week. He had to shoot about 3 different restaurants per day, edit the media together, and get it out that same day in order to get people to see what was happening throughout the week and get people to go to participate. Without Louis' dedication of putting in 18-hour days every day throughout that week, this event wouldn't have been as successful as it was. Not only did he help the participating restaurants gain customers, but he also helped the city gain around 700 new followers that week alone with his content that he put out. Louis' work helped gain lots of residents to start following the City of Hawthorne's social media sites, which helps residents know what's going on around their community. We are reaching our goal of being totally transparent with everything the city is doing for the community. The amount of hours he put in for the success of the Hawthorne Eats Week and the thought that he put into his work, he could have easily turned in something more simplistic. But as always, he went above and beyond to put out the best possible product for our public. Let's give Louis a round of applause. And I think just because the committee doesn't like to say no to anybody because everybody's doing fantastic work, everybody's a winner. Oh. Louis, take a picture with the council members.
You know what?
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1. All right.
Thank you so much.
Through the chair. So I want to say, thank you, Erica, for bringing us this Good Neighbors Award. It's fantastic because, like I said, our employees constantly working 24/7, and Louis is a good example, working 18 hours a day to put those beautiful videos and making me look good on that. So thank you very much. But it was a fantastic week, and it's not just that 1 week, because you continue to do your work every day. Because I see you, all the events that we put together, you there with your phone, your camera, trying to interview us or try to catch us doing something, and the public. So thank you for boosting our social media, because that's what we need. So appreciate all of that. And I have to say, Eric, the same thing, our communication director. So you guys are doing a fantastic job. So thank you.
To the chair.
Yes.
I echo what he says, and God knows Lee makes me look good. Always making sure the hair is right, the makeup is right. Eric, they a team. They work so well together, and they take very good care of us. And I'm so glad and so proud of you guys that you guys continue to increase our social media followers, and the fact that you guys also take the time to engage with our social media followers as well. So well done. I truly appreciate you guys. Keep up the good work.
To the chair.
Yes.
Thank you. Erica, thank you again for bringing us great folks for our Good Neighbor Award. And you're absolutely right. All of our employees deserve it. To everyone that's been honored this evening, and especially Louis, it was funny because I wanted to bite into my cake, and he says, "Be careful with the blue dye." He says, you don't want that around your mouth. That, you see, that's a professional right there, because anybody else would say, "Yeah, you look good. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead." But I just want to say thank you. You have ultimately helped us in our social media efforts, because some maybe 10 years ago, I don't think we were quite there. But everybody's excited because they're all subscribing now, and that's what matters too. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I started, I guess. Hey, thank you so much. You're always out there. You're taking all the different angles for these pictures so they can come out when, I'm going to borrow a term from one of my council colleagues, when we're out here in these streets, taking care of business and out, out with the people and, connecting. I mean, you're communicating, how active we are in the city, and how active the residents are with and receptive to all the programs that we've laid out for them. So thank you so much for being able to illustrate that.
To the chair. Thank you, Erica, for the Good Neighbor Award. We appreciate that, because our staff does work and does deserve to be recognized for their efforts to go above and beyond. And Eric, thank you for your great team. I mean, you guys put out such professional work. I mean, these are going to be collector items one day, guys, because we're going to look back 20, 30 years and pull these out and say, "Oh, I remember this, I remember that," and it's going to be great. So thank you for all your professional work. I mean, top class. And with Louis, the work that you put out, I mean, if these restaurants had to buy that, it'd be thousands of dollars. So it's a great sell to get more businesses to participate in our Hawthorne Eats Week next time around. When they see the level of professionalism and skill that you have, it really makes us look good. Now, what can we do on our end to help you? Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. So don't just watch it, like it, share it, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I say one thing about Louis? Louis, don't go anywhere. If you've noticed the display case when you walk in, every month, Louis, Eric, and the team, they decorate that. So that's one thing under Louis' leadership. If you notice the difference on our display case, and when you leave tonight, take a look at that. That's a lot of work that goes into that display case. And one thing I admire about Eric and Louis, they're very fair with all our elected officials and our staff. They make sure that everyone has their time. There's a picture, equal pictures of every person in the picture. So thank you, Eric. Thank you, Louis, for your teamwork. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. So, thank you for the presentations. Thank you to all the employees in the city for all their efforts. Madam Clerk, the oral communications, please. The public comment guidelines.
Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.3, all remarks should be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any individual council member. During public comments, speakers shall have 3 minutes to state their business. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from providing a detailed response or acting upon any items not contained on the agenda. The governing bodies as a body shall have the discretion at the close of public comments to refer any remarks to the city manager for study, investigation, report, and/or recommendation.
All right. So I have two of these things right here, these little forms right here. Pat Donaldson, please.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, and everyone in the audience. Patricia Donaldson, President CEO of the Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce. March 19th, which is next week, we are having our networking mixer. It's going to be at the Hummus House, 11:30 a.m. to 12:45. And our last one went excellent, thanks to Dana. So hopefully it'll be a real success again. So that's the 19th. From 11:30 to 12:45. And then we have our Business Expo, which is going fabulous. That's going to be on May 14th at the Hawthorne Memorial Center. And if you're interested in being a part of that, just call the chamber or call my cell. Everyone has my cell number. And that's my 2 announcements. The only other thing I'd like to bring up is I had to get up early 3 weeks ago in the morning and go down Century Boulevard. It was still dark. But it was so lit up on Century Boulevard, it looked like we were in Vegas. So I had mentioned to Greg, wherever he is, where is he? Yeah, that why don't we do something in Hawthorne, on Hawthorne Boulevard, that would be really outstanding, to where there would be bright lights, so when people came down our boulevard, it would be so noticeable. So that's my suggestion to the City Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Gordon Michael Migo.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, Gordon Michael Eagle, native and resident of Hawthorne since October the 8th, 1952. Something that's been before the LA County Board of Supervisors, of which many cities throughout the South Bay area here and other parts of LA County are opposed to, is the placement of the 0.5% sales tax proposal on the June 2nd ballot. Its intended purpose, and we always hear about intended purposes, but whether it actually goes where it's supposed to go, they want to replace the lost revenue from the federal government in regards to, health care. But as you've seen in the news, LA County, City of LA, other cities where there's a lot of waste and fraud, money that's just disappearing in rat holes, and whether it's the homeless or any other program. And I think we do not need to be enacting any more sales tax, period. And we need to go after the waste and fraud, which I think if we dig in deep, we'll find enough to cover any lost revenue from the federal government. Property owners pay taxes for emergency rooms and trauma units at hospitals, both public and private, but City of Hawthorne does not have facilities, thus we are being cheated out. Healthcare money from LA County and the state of California need to be spent on reopening hospitals. For example, the Robert F. Kennedy Medical Center over here. So I must say, voters must reject the sales tax plan on the June 2nd ballot. And just as a follow-up in regards to hospitals in general throughout the state of California, but in particular here, which I mentioned, the Robert F. Kennedy Medical Center here, just north of us, it's a necessity, not a luxury. We've lost literally dozens of hospitals throughout the state. Public and private investment of new facilities can occur if people put themselves at the community's interest and not their own private fiefdoms. Lack of concern and even outright selfishness has been pretty pervasive in LA County here, and it's very troublesome. Corruption of the soul by various people who think about themselves first, and therefore, unlike a lot of other cities, we really need to follow the examples of other cities throughout the South Bay area, where Torrance has 2 hospitals, Inglewood has theirs, Gardena has theirs, because the people work together, pool their resources, both government, corporate, private, and so forth. So let us work together to make Hawthorne a really great place. I think people really appreciate that.
Thank you. Do I have anybody else wishing to address the city council? If not, I declare oral communications close ordered. Well, okay, it's closed, actually, since I already called for it. Okay. All right.
I think there were other people that wanted to speak under public comment, and they should be afforded an opportunity to do so, if that's the case.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I would recommend that, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anybody else that wishes, go ahead, ma'am, and anybody else wishing to address the city council? Just form a line now, though, so that we won't go through this misunderstanding and stuff again. Not a misunderstanding, just, I got 1, I got 2, anybody else? All right, go ahead, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joanne Varga, resident of Hawthorne, and this morning I was woken up again by another airplane at 5:16 a.m. this morning, and I'm pretty sure there was another airplane taking off in the middle of the night. And then why is construction starting at before 6:30 a.m.? And that's, I believe, the airport hangar construction. So, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. One of the issues that we've been having on the Veterans Commission with the city is that we are short a couple of commissioners. So I'm asking if anybody in the public is a veteran and lives in Hawthorne. We do have 2 openings. Please do apply for the city, because this year so far, we've only had 1 meeting because we have not had a quorum. As a result of that, a lot of the information that pertains to veterans in our community has not been getting out. I have a number of flyers here that pertain to services that veterans can take advantage of that I have no way to get out to the public. I would appreciate it if, since I only have 1 copy of each of these, we can get copies made and put in the holder inside the doors over there so the community members can find out what activities and aids are available to them. So that would be one thing. On item number 8, the ordinance pertaining to the vehicle and parking structures, I just have a question. I would like to know if those parking meters are going to have an exception period, a grace period. Will it be an hour? Will it be 2 hours? So that if people want to come and park on Hawthorne Boulevard and eat at the very restaurants that were honored here tonight, that they can do so. And they can do so without having to park in the neighborhoods and tie up the neighborhood parking more than it already is. And the last thing that I had is, again, a question on item number 11 about the emergency housing vouchers. It appears, and obviously I don't have access to all the information, that that Hawthorne had an overage of money that we have to repay to HUD. And I'm asking if that overage could instead be spent on whatever would be necessary for Hawthorne to participate in the HUD VASH program. I've been told beforehand that the reason that we do not, which would be for veteran housing vouchers, is because we didn't have the staff availability to do it, and it was a financial thing. I would like to know if that extra $105,720 in unspent EHV service fees could be used to establish HUD VASH in the city of Hawthorne. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, anybody else? Okay, anybody else? Okay, oral communications closed, so ordered. Okay. I got a note here for myself. City Clerk's consent calendar.
Mr. Mayor, I have 4 items on the city clerk's consent calendar. They are items 4 through 7 for your consideration and approval. Item 4, the Finance Department requests approval of the warrants. Item 5, approval of the minutes for the regular City Council meeting of February 24th, 2026. Item 6, approval of waiver of full readings of resolutions and ordinances on Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 agenda. Item 7, Resolution 8590, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, authorizing and approving an increase to the administrative vehicle stored impound release fee for adoption.
I move.
Second.
Please vote. Please vote.
The votes are in. The votes reflect mayor and council voting yes.
All right, thank you, council. I'm going to interject right now. We have somebody here up on this dais that we just had a birthday, our own city manager, Von Norris. So we want to recognize him and wish him a very happy birthday. Go ahead.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vaughn. Happy birthday to you.
Congratulations,
And
sir.
many
Thank you.
more.
Appreciate it, thank you.
We appreciate you for all you do for us. You're a great man. Thank you. No question. All right, so let's move on to ordinances, please.
Item 8, now is the time and place for a public hearing and second reading of ordinance number 2261, amending chapter 10.36, stopping, standing, and parking of Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic of the Hawthorne Municipal Code to establish parking meter zones, operations, fees, and procedures. No written communications were received. Recommended motion, open the public hearing and adopt ordinance number 2261 on March 10th, 2026.
Point of information, Mr. City Attorney. Since it's an ordinance, is this the first reading?
This is actually the second reading.
The second reading, good. Okay.
So you should open it and see if there's any
I
public
have
comment.
a comment, but anybody else here want additional comment?
Public comment.
Yes. Go ahead. Public comments. Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council. I'm speaking tonight as William Myers for the Ramona Neighborhood Association. We have received a very useful presentation from Public Works with regard to the proposal of this ordinance. However, I am left with one question, which I'd like to bring before the council, and quite possibly ask the council to consider it before they adopt this ordinance. The situation on 129th and 130th Street, which are going to become public, permit parking spaces. I'm concerned that despite the generous amount of the fees that are going to be charged, that people are going to avoid them by parking on the residential streets adjacent to these parking lots. And I don't see anything in the ordinance with respect to the thing other than the fact that there is a residential study proposed, and I would prefer that situation, how much, what you are proposing to do with respect to permits and so forth. I understand that there was supposed to be a survey to be done, and I don't see any information of that in the language of this ordinance. So I would appreciate it if if you would look into that before you accept this ordinance. Thank you.
Anybody else wishing to express their public comment? No? In that case, public comment on this item is closed ordered. Mr. City Attorney, Mr. City Manager?
Yes, sir.
I have, well, discussion on my part, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, Mr. Oh, God, I'm not even gonna, I just gotta be careful how I approach this because I know that this situation is very sensitive for a lot of the businesses that are along, so just comment on my part. I really think that there's been an issue along Hawthorne Boulevard in particular. There's been businesses on the north end of Hawthorne Boulevard that have suffered with regards to having the inability of people parking due to churches that have sprouted up in, I don't even know if they're licensed or not. And then like everybody's parking on the, you know what I'm talking about. One of my colleagues, Councilwoman Angie Reyes English, knows what I'm talking about. And then a couple of churches that have sprouted out with possibly, without permits. And, of course, we want to be sensitive to these types of groups, right, that are set up. But, if people aren't following the rules and, and they're out of, they're violating code with people packing in buildings, it's not safe for us as a city and for those individuals that are there in case something were to happen. In addition, if those properties weren't zoned for those types of uses, I think we should, Mr. City Attorney, I think we should be looking at something like that, whether I give the directive later or whatever, just to revisit that. But I think this is a response to those individuals. A couple of other businesses, Pizza Show has been one, Mi California has been another one. I think Dr. Schneiro's office has also been another one, and other locations because of some of these churches that have been parking along this area. So I know there's also the issue of the employees. Where do they park and everything? So I think this is going to definitely meet the purpose of what we're trying to do to solve this issue. So I think I'm going to lean on supporting this today. But Mr. City Manager, can you comment on anything that I mentioned today, just reaffirm or counter anything that I might have said?
Absolutely.
That might be wrong.
I can answer some of the questions, but I would like to call up Public Works and our consultant that's been in the community and done several, as Mr. Bill Myers mentioned, several meet and greets explaining what we're doing and that this is a pilot parking program. And I think with that, I'm sure the question has come up, businesses, not just churches, that how are they going to proceed with this new ordinance? So if you can just briefly cover that, I think we can answer Bill Myers' question or any other questions that the City Council has. And DJ, if you can start out with the type of outreach that we've done with the community, I think that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, in terms of outreach, we've done extensive outreach with the community. We've gone to multiple HOAs. We've gone to city commissions. We've been at various city events such as Touch a Truck and the Winter Wonderland event. We have a online map in our city website where residents have been going in, pinning the various locations in the city, expressing their concerns about where they've had difficulties or issues with parking. So we've heard a lot of feedback from the community. And we've done a lot of outreach to ensure the community is well informed about the citywide parking study, the pilot program, and the upcoming residential parking program that'll become as part of phase 2. So again, the project goals of this whole parking study is to conduct an inventory of all on-street and city-owned off-street parking facilities, to develop various regulations in terms of parking, such as establishing parking time limits, permitting zones, and the meter rates. We're analyzing the utilization by time of day, so how long people are parking in the neighborhood and also in the commercial businesses. We're trying to improve availability in high-demand commercial areas, especially along Hawthorne Boulevard. The curbside parking is what we'd call prime parking. A lot of people would like to park there, so we're trying to encourage higher turnover in those areas. And we want to use the funding that is generated from these this parking meters to identify new off-street parking facilities. So creating a Hawthorne Mobility Hub, for example, multi-story parking structure for the residents to increase the availability of parking. So like I said, there's a phase process that we are doing. The first phase is the pilot program, the second phase is the residential preferential parking, and the third phase is the commercial corridors. At this time, this ordinance number 2261 is only focused on the pilot program to establish the parking meter zones, operations, fees, and procedures. After the establishment and commencement of this pilot program, Public Works will be conducting the residential permit program, and we hope to have that out in time in the summer. So specifically on this pilot program, we're trying to gather as much data as we can to inform long-term citywide parking strategies. We want to test enforcement and technology solutions in a controlled scope. We want to begin generating revenue to invest in parking infrastructure. That means putting money towards maintenance and operation of the existing parking spaces. Hopefully, we can use this money for property acquisition for the city, and also, again, develop new parking structures and lots to benefit residents. And with this pilot program, the city manager may modify, suspend, or terminate the program at any time. Again, it's a pilot program. There's going to be some ups and downs, but we're trying to learn from this pilot program how the city can improve parking for everyone. So specifically for this pilot program, we have certain locations that we're testing this paid parking. It's on Hawthorne Boulevard from El Segundo to Rosecrans Avenue. That includes both the median and the curbside parking. The 129th and 130th Street lots just west of Hawthorne Boulevard. Jack Northrop Avenue from Prairie Avenue to Crenshaw Boulevard. And Jim Thorpe Park, only the south west corner of Prairie and 139th. So in total, we've inventoried 900 parking spaces from all these locations. Specifically for Hawthorne Boulevard, the issues that we've noticed is that curbside parking is dominated by employees and customers have no available spots. Because employees are dominating these spaces, they're not moving their cars and creating turnover. So when you're driving down Hawthorne Boulevard, you're seeing that there's cars parked and you're thinking that there's not enough available parking. Again, businesses are underutilizing their own private parking. So in certain alley parking lots, they're empty and they're not being utilized properly. So instead, businesses are using the curbside parking as their own personal parking. As part of this pricing strategy on Hawthorne Boulevard, the price for the curbside parking is at a premium option for customers and short-term visits. So we are recommending $1 per hour and a 2-hour maximum time limit on the curbside only. We want to provide an initial free period in the median to encourage usage without deterring visits. So that's why the recommended rates on the median specifically are free for the first hour. For the from hours 1 through 5, it'd be 75 cents per hour. And then a daily maximum rate of $3. And then monthly permits would be $55 per month. That would be anyone, including employees or anyone who would want to purchase a monthly permit. And then we want to provide a lower hourly rate in the median, again, for the longer stays. So if you are going to be spending more time on Hawthorne Boulevard, we're encouraging people to park in the median instead of using the premium curbside parking. So curbside parking would be more for short-term visits. For the 129th and 130th lots, the primary issue we noticed was the underutilization of the parking lot as employees occupy curbside spaces. So we want to use this lot as a way for employees to park there more longer term, freeing up space for curbside parking. So we want to relocate the employee parking off of the curbside to these lots. We want to provide initial free period in the lots in case there's no parking in the median. People can use these lots as a way for parking to visit the businesses on Hawthorne Boulevard, and then provide a lower hourly rate in the lots for longer stays. So the pricing structure is the same as the Hawthorne median parking. At Jim Thorpe Park, specifically that corner on 139th and Prairie, the parking lot is used by adjacent businesses and not specifically for park visitors. So we want to discourage this use. We are only charging for parking in that corner lot. The remaining lots in front of the Hawthorne Historical Museum and on Corridor are remaining free for visitors of the park. So there's no pay stations installed there. But for the corner lot, similar price structure to the Hawthorne median and the 129th and 130th lots. And then on Jack Northrop Avenue, the primary issue we've seen is the on-street parking is occupied by the adjacent businesses. If you've gone down Jack Northrop Avenue, it's pretty full there all the time. A lot of businesses that work there, it's a 24-hour, three 8-hour shifts, so all 24 hours, the parking is pretty packed over there. So we want to implement paid parking on here to generate revenue for additional parking solutions, and this revenue would go directly to benefit the Hawthorne community. And we want to also provide a dedicated short-term visitor parking for any shorter-term visits for businesses along Jack Northrop Avenue. This pricing strategy is a bit different. It'd be $1 per hour, $7 daily maximum, and then a monthly permit of $100 per month. During the December council meeting, City Council approved the contract with Last Parking to provide pay stations and enforcement of this program. So there's going to be pay stations installed at those locations that I had previously mentioned. There'll be multiple payment options, including a mobile option. There's going to be signs posted all over with QR codes if you want to scan with your phone the QR code to pay that way. There's pay to text as well, or text to pay as well. All of the pay stations are equipped with the ability to accept coins or tap to pay option with your credit card, and also swiping, or the credit card chips as well. And then any monthly permits that anyone wants to purchase are going to be online. And monthly permits can be purchased by the employers for their employees in bulk if they would like to do that. Everything is tied to your license plate, so when you pay for parking, you just need to provide your license plate, and then the enforcement is provided by license plate readers. So like I mentioned, we've been doing a ton of community engagement. We've been to various city events. The list you see below, that's all the presentations that I've done throughout the whole community in partnership with Kimley Horn and with Last Parking as well, reaching out to residents, addressing their concerns and questions for this whole pilot program, the residential permit program, and this whole citywide study as a whole. So the next steps that we are recommending is to adopt ordinance number 2261. We're going to be continuing the public awareness of this pilot program. We have social media posts ready. We have a lot of signs that are going to be posted at all these locations where pay stations are going to be installed. There's going to be information about that. We're going to be updating the city webpage, obviously, to inform residents about this new program that we're launching. And then next step after this pilot program will be to do the residential permit parking. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if I can ask DJ just to speak about one other item.
Yeah.
Can you share with the community the timeframes and the amount of time that we've been meeting? When did this conversation start? And the frequency of our meetings with our consultant and with all the city departments?
So I believe we contracted with Kimley Horn for the citywide parking study back in early 2024 or 2025. And then we've been doing inventory throughout the whole city in collaboration with Kimley Horn. We, again, contracted Last Parking for this back in December. So I guess we've been working on this for almost like 1.5 years. I know the pilot program is just starting, but there's been a lot of background work with Public Works, collaborating with, with planning, with the PD, with all of the departments, and making sure that informing the residents is our top priority because it is a new system. It's very different. There's been a lot of misinformation that we've noticed, but we've clarified all of that, and we made sure that the residents understand that this is for them and it's for their benefit, and we're prioritizing them.
And how often do we meet? Once a week, once every other week?
So specifically with Last Parking, we've been meeting about once a week, rolling out this program. With Kimley Horn, we've done it once a month or so. So that's been for the past, at least with Kimley Horn, the past 1.5 years, and then with Last Parking since January.
Okay. Thank you, DJ. Who's right behind you? Can you introduce the hi, ma'am.
Good evening, Council. My name is Laura Fornash. I'm part of Kimley Horn and help DJ and Vaughn and the rest of the department with this study.
Okay, so comments on my part, on my behalf? I think this makes perfect sense. I think it's about time. It's just the right time, and it makes sense, especially with the amount of demand that we have along Hawthorne Boulevard and along Jack Northrop in particular. I mean, that's city property, so we just gotta, make sure that that we put some things in place. I have a question I think this might be for the enforcement aspect, Chief?
Yes.
This is good and everything, right? We're gonna have all these, all of these, meters up there.
We are, and we're also partnering with Laz company that will be upholding the enforcement end of that.
Oh.
So
they're gonna get a little bit of something to be able to do that, or what? I mean, I don't know. I feel comfortable about stuff like that, Do we enforce, or is this perfectly normal in other cities? What can you say?
I can answer that really quick.
Concern-wise,
That's
it's just
regarding staffing, if I can, Mayor. Chief, as far as parking enforcement officers, we have a 6 square mile city. How many officers do we have on staff currently for that?
Currently, we have 6, and we just hired 4 of those to be police officers, and we're trying to hire 4 back, so.
Parking enforcement individuals?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
So we don't have the bandwidth to enforce our own. If we want to make this a pilot program that's successful, we need compliance, immediate compliance.
Immediate compliance, yeah.
Absolutely. So this is why we enlisted last. It went out to RFP. We received several bids. Myself, Public Works, and PD actually met with the bidders. We decided to go with last. They have a working relationship with the City of Long Beach, City of Los Angeles, City of Inglewood. So we felt they were the most experienced and have the best resources for our city.
So noting down the, who's in violation, et cetera, keeping tabs, right?
Yes.
Somebody, is that the most efficient way to be able to check to see who's violated the time limits?
Do you mind, sir?
Yes.
So we also have the ability with license plate readers on our cars, as well as that when we partner with Laz, that instead of having to physically check each car, the parking enforcement car will drive by, timestamp that car in that spot. It'll also run it against if that car has registered and paid for that hour parking. And so it will expedite the process of making sure that the cars that are in violation are cited, and the ones that are legally parked are parked, and just make it more efficient for our officers patrolling the area.
So is that your recommendation, staff, to go with, use that strategy?
Absolutely. If you think about it, City Council, if we have a car accident that's on El Segundo and Hawthorne, we have 3 officers, parking enforcement officers doing traffic control. What happens to the enforcement?
And then hiring parking enforcement staff, the time it takes to do that, et cetera, would it make sense, right? Okay.
And the good thing, Mr. Mayor, that LAS will be in our city per their RFP. They have to be located in our city for quick response. So they will occupy one of our vacant businesses in Hawthorne. They haven't selected the storefront yet, so that fills that void also.
Okay, thank you. So thank you guys for that. And I know that one of the residents and staff, I mean, I have people who work along Hawthorne Boulevard that have said, hey, you know what, where are we gonna park? We can't park here. Our employers are pretty cheapos, and they wouldn't support us if we had to pay to park in the center medium. So, Mr. City cheapos, right? You know how it is, right? I've heard those comments, unfortunately. Mr. City Manager, are those 2 properties behind the Planet Fitness, the former Rite Aid, and the Denny's? Those parking lots are ours, right?
Yes, there's several there, but if we're speaking of the same properties, I think DJ's gonna bring it up for us. There's a smaller parking lot to the south and a larger parking lot to the north.
Okay, as a directive, when the opportunity comes, I think it's time that we start looking at that as those opportunities to put parking structures there. I think maybe it's in there, but I just kind of want to see I just want to start seeing what the feasibility is. I think, if we could start moving on that, there's just so many groups that we could work with to build parking structures there, and just have, maybe it's even through your organization and stuff. So that's gonna meet some of the relief for some of the employees that are working in those areas, and they have somewhere to park, et cetera. So, not everybody wants to park in the center median, or on the sides, or on the streets. And so the residents living in Ramona wouldn't have to worry, because people would be parking in those structures. So I'll just bring it up at the appropriate time.
Mr.
Yes.
DJ, you want to explain the grant that we're applying for? Okay, thank you.
So obviously the funding that goes, that's the revenue that's contained from this pilot program would be going into a parking/transportation fund that would fund a parking structure. Public Works has applied for a 50 million grant through Measure M with Metro and South Bay COG. We're just waiting for the results of that, and we are planning to use that grant funding to provide 2 parking structures. One would be
Right there?
would be here at the 129/130th lots, and then the other proposed one would be at Memorial Center at the corner of El Segundo and Doty.
So in that image that you have right there, the smaller little block, blue block, that's behind Denny's, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that is. And then the larger blue block above it is Planet Fitness, the old Pick and Save, and the old Rite Aid. Yeah, that's what it is, I believe. Is it not?
To the chair.
Just.
Oh,
yeah,
I think it's.
I'll
I think
let
this
you
is
do it.
north of that, just north of Denny's. Yeah, because right here is H&R Block. So it's H&R Block. I think Soft Cafe is here, and then.
No, I believe the lower one is, but okay. If it's not, if we could look at it, if we own a property, I think we should just look at those parking structures. Go ahead.
I have a question. Can you flip the slide presentation to show that one parking structure, the cream-colored parking structure? It was back, I think. Go back. It was over that one. Excuse me.
What item is
Whose parking structure is that right there? Vaughn?
Greg, I might need your help with this. Can you identify who owns that parking structure? That's just south of City Hall.
Yeah, that structure is owned by the same owners of the Academy Insurance.
Okay. So it's never opened, it's never used?
Correct.
Because every time I drive by, it's gated.
Yes.
Okay. That's another discussion to be had. I'd like to bring that item back for next council meeting, Vaughn.
Okay, can you remind me of that during directives?
Sure.
Okay, thank you, but it's noted.
Thank you.
So I think we all kind of agree that there's opportunity for parking structures and the underutilized parking lots that we have.
And to the chair, and just to add that those parking structures also on the top level, we're going to have open space like parks on top of the structures.
You had a comment, ma'am?
Oh, I was just saying that's a conversation that we've been talking about for years. I know that I had asked the city manager about parking. I talked to Greg about, creating an opportunity for us to utilize the parking, underutilizing parking. In particular, we were talking about the parking lot that's behind Denny's. That parking lot there, the 99-cent store. So there are so many opportunities, and there's so many underutilized parking structures. So I know I've been talking about that for years. So.
All right. So I guess we're all in agreement that we could do something with those little parking structures that are behind there, and sooner than later.
Yes.
I have one quick question.
Go ahead.
The Measure M that you're applying for, the 50 million, and that is some of that money being used for the Olympics and FIFA, or is it just for this project?
The 50 million funding that Public Works is applying for would be for 2 parking structures only, and for improvements along like Hawthorne Boulevard,
Okay.
Crenshaw Boulevard, etc.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, folks.
I made a motion.
Oh, and thank you. Let's give them a round of
Second.
applause for their presentation. Well, let's do that first. There's been a motion.
Second.
From Mayor Pro Tem, and a second from Councilwoman Katrina Manning. Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council members voting yes.
All right. Thank you, guys. And yeah, if we could put this into effect as soon as possible, Yeah, let's get it going.
Just really quick, Mr. Mayor, before we move from this item, David, if you can give council just an update on amending the fees there, when it would be the appropriate time to recommend that during the pilot program or after the pilot program?
We can do it after the pilot program.
Okay.
We can come back with another ordinance and amending the fees and so forth, resolution.
Amending the fees, if city council's not happy with the proposed fees after the pilot program, if we want to lower or raise, that would be the time to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City manager's consent calendar. Can you read those, please?
Item 9, American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA update and request for approval or recommendation. Item 10, review of the mid-year financial report for fiscal year 2025-2026. Item 11, emergency housing voucher EHV program, service fee reconciliation and authorization to remit funds to U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. Item 12, increased investments in 3 to 5 year tiered fixed investments through multi-bank securities, MBS. Item 13, City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, announcing free income tax preparation services starting on Saturday, March 14th, 2026, and ending on Saturday, April 18th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Hawthorne Memorial Center as part of the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance VITA program. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city manager's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 9 through 13?
To the chair.
I have item 12 pulled for somebody, and what about you?
Me?
You pulled 12?
Yeah.
I'm going to pull 13. And then
To the chair.
11.
Ma'am?
10.
10?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're going to go through all of them. Good.
Item 9, I make a motion on item 9. That's the only one.
Second.
Please vote. Please vote.
Councilmember Montero?
Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, the votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council members voting yes.
Okay, discussion on item 10, 11, et cetera. Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, which item would you like to, I can,
Go in order.
Go in order. Go in
Okay.
order, please.
okay, will do. So at this time, I'd like to call up Felice Lopez, our finance director. She will present our mid-year financial report for fiscal year 2025, 2026. Thank you, Felice.
All right. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, staff, and residents. Thank you for the opportunity to bring you the mid-year financial report. We'll start with our year-end balance as of December 31st. 2025, you can see that it's a little bit lower than normal. It's at $78,140,000. And this is due to a delay in grant reimbursements. Normally, we have a deficit balance in grant funding or restricted funds of about 9 to 10 million. Right now, our pooled cash shows that we have about a $21 million deficit in those grant funding, and it's major projects that have been going on, and so it's just we're expecting reimbursement on those grants anytime. Okay, and so in your packet, you see that we are recommending changes in appropriations. We have revenues that have come in much lower than anticipated. It's about 2.7 million in reductions. The bulk of that is $1 million in cannabis, $1 million in parking citations, and about 400,000 in construction permits. We've been able to balance that with some increases in other revenue sources of about $2 million. And also, departments have agreed to reduce their budgets by $750,000. So that has helped to balance out our budget. And I'll just give you a summary of some of the things that are being reduced. Building and safety, community service, business license, and city manager are holding recruitments on several vacancies. City attorney has reduced contract services. City attorney has, since he took this position, been doing a lot of work in-house, so that has been a savings in that department. Yes. PD, Public Works and Finance are holding off on a few non-critical programs, and so that's been able to balance our budget. So the mid-year appropriations will bring the amended budget to $113,047,559 in expenditures, $113,175,855 in revenues. All right, our operating revenues increased by about 5.2% compared to the previous year. Most significant increases are in business license tax. That increase was of about almost 1.3 million. Transient occupancy tax, which is our hotel tax, increased by 19%, which is 459,000. Sales tax, and you can see these numbers in the attachment to the presentation, and it shows all of the revenue amounts. Sales tax increased by a combined 9%, about 445,000 for Measure HH and 608,000 in the Bradley Burns tax. We did have a reduction in investment earnings of about 40%, and that was about 870,000, and that's due to all the reduced interest rates. I can give you a couple of other.
Through the chair. So Phyllis, that transit-oriented tax, right? The trans-occupant tax at TOT.
Yes.
It went up 19%. It's very good, but still, we are one of the lowest TOT tax in the area, correct?
In the area, correct.
We're very
We're
low.
at 12%, and several agencies are at 15, 16. So yes, we're on the lower end.
We need to increase that. Thank you.
Just a couple of other increases that we can share with you. We had an increase in franchise fees of about 540,000. An increase in cannabis tax from prior year from 25,000 to 256,000, still below what the anticipated amount was, so that's why you see that reduction of $1 million. Construction permits was reduced by 286,000. We had an increase in state mandated costs that we are reimbursed to the city. We received some of the backlog from prior years, so normally we receive a reimbursement about 68 to 70,000, and this year we received 134,000. So that helps with the prior year lag that we had. We also had an increase in the aquatics program, actually a decrease in the aquatics program of 40,000 for this time period. So we'll have to take a look at that. We had.
What about the facility rental? There's a decrease in that too.
We had a decrease of about 20,000 from the prior year. So this is where we're seeing a lot of decreases, and I'm sure a lot of families are not, doing a lot of the programs that they normally do because they're maybe don't have enough money this year, or the increase in other areas that they have to purchase for food or gas or whatever those things are. But we are seeing a lot of reductions in our revenue items that are normally at a higher rate at this time of year.
There's a significant reduce in code enforcement fee.
Yes, and that is due to the citations that code issued to them all in prior years.
Okay.
Which hasn't been necessary in this year.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions on that one?
The real property transfer taxes, what about the decrease in that? It's on the first page.
12%. It just, that one is basically any properties that are sold. So it just depends on the time period. So right now there are lower sales in properties. That's the transfer tax from one.
No, I know. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of sales happen. So it's interesting.
Yeah,
that it's
not
that low.
not according, not in our area.
Is our area consist of Holly Glen?
This is the whole city.
Yeah. So I've been seeing sales in Holly Glen.
And it there probably are, but not as many sales as there were in the prior year.
Okay. Okay. We've had quite a few deductions and reduced a lot.
Our next page, this page just kind of highlights our sales tax and property tax, all of the largest tax sources that the city has and how they have fluctuated over the years. So it's just a graph to show you how those are compared to just the listing. Any questions here? The next page is just non-tax revenues, all of the rest of the city's revenue sources. And here you can see fines and forfeitures. This is where we saw that drop where we had to reduce that by $1 million from $756,000 last year to $545,000 this year, at this time last year. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, the increase in sales tax revenues is about 9% combined with Bradley Burns and Measure HH. We again have been able to, because of our diverse economic base, plug in some of these holes left by the reductions in sales tax or in the TOT or UUT, whichever taxes seem to fall below, there's always something else that comes in to kind of help plug that deficit. And also you can see here what the percentages are in the different sources of revenue, sales tax revenue that the city has. General consumer goods is 24%, autos and transportation is 19%, the county pool is 19%, business and industry 15%, building goods 10%, and restaurants and other at 13%. So there's a good split, so that kind of keeps us in a good position when it comes to sales tax.
Mr. Chair? Yes. I have a question, but I'm not sure whether I address this to the city manager or to you. But I know in October we signed a contract with the company that are researching our TOT taxes for the short-term rentals.
Yes.
And so I wanted to know, is that amount that I mentioned before that they had about 108 companies that were not paying a TOT for the short-term rentals, is that figure in this?
I think, give me
well,
one second.
they're not included. So that all of those that are not paying their taxes, obviously this would show a much higher number if those 108 that aren't paying.
Right. So their job was to identify them and make sure that they are paying. And so my thing is, if they're, I guess, have they reached out to them to get that money?
That's a total separate conversation.
I would have
that would be under licensing. I don't know, David, if we can address that right now under this this item. If not, you can provide a directive, and we can bring staff back with a prepared TOT short-term rental conversation.
Okay. I was just wondering if that amount that for the 108 was in this number, or that's a number that we're looking forward to coming later.
Yeah, that would probably be, once they bring you that report, then they can.
Okay.
And that's the number the
answer that
gentleman from the company shared with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with that, I don't know if that's authentic or not, because I didn't have that conversation with them. So
Sure.
I would feel more comfortable bringing back a complete presentation on where we are with implementation.
Okay.
How many that we have registered short-term rentals with the city, and who we have as violators.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions here? Okay, so on the expenditure side, we see an increase in operating expenditures of 7.54% compared to prior years. We also see that healthcare costs increased by about 10% from last year. And our current budget our expenditures are at 49% of the approved budget. And this is due to the inclusion of the land purchase from last year, because that was not a budgeted item. Normally, we're around a 45 to 46% of the expended budget. Our required cash balance or fund balance for this fiscal year is $28,283,000. The cash balance as of December, as I mentioned earlier, was $78,140,000. And that is all I have for you. If you have any other additional questions.
Nope, not on my part. Anybody?
To the chair.
Yes.
Just for some transparency and clarity, can you speak to what elected officials have access to and what they don't as far as the finances go?
Yes. So in terms of banking or investments, that type of thing, no elected official has access to make any transfers, wire funds, anything like that. That all strictly goes through the finance department, and that's after it's been approved by council and been signed off by city manager. We have a process in the finance department where either I initiate a wire transfer and it's approved by our senior finance analyst, or vice versa. He will initiate it and then I will approve it. So there's always a dual certification.
Thank you. So we even have stopgaps for employees not being able to get access to that.
Correct.
Okay. And then another question was, can you elaborate on our fire contract a little bit? How that's impacting us?
Yes, and so we are currently working on fiscal year 26-27. Our fire contract will be going up by about $1 million in the next fiscal year, about another $2 million in the 2 consecutive years, and that's due to the county was supplementing part of the costs for our fire program, and they are no longer doing that, so that falls completely on the city of Hawthorne.
And this is in addition to any taxes that we approved on the ballot to go towards fire?
Correct.
Okay. And then on the cannabis, I noticed that we kind of have a shortage in that. Can you explain why that's happening?
Part of the process is that there's been a lot of delays in opening of the cannabis shops. We had 6 approved, I believe. Only 3 opened at the beginning of this fiscal year. We still have another 1 pending opening, 2 pending openings, but there's been a lot of delays, and so that's why our revenues have not been anywhere near where we expected those to be.
Okay. And then just one little shout out. I know all of our departments are doing very good, but can you elaborate on the city attorney? How we're spending less there?
Yeah, our city attorney does a lot more work in-house, and so that has brought in a savings in his contract services, so that definitely helps in the long run.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Through the chair,
Yes.
I should like elaborate a little bit more on our city attorney, because he is a well-qualified city attorney, that he knows his stuff. So that's why he doesn't need to go consult outside. So he's been doing an outstanding job. And again, thank you for all those reports you sent to us. I appreciate it very much. Really, so, outstanding. So by June 30th, it will be almost dead even, right?
Yes, we anticipate to be.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I move.
Yeah, I'm sorry, to the chair, real
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
Yeah, Felice, I just want to say thank you for the report, actually reporting out on our mid-year fiscal, how we're doing. I think it's very, very clear that, where we've fallen short, our work as a city, and more importantly, as a business, is to continue to find revenue sources.
Yes.
And we can't rely on those that maybe we thought, would bring us out of, a gray day. However, we're all pushing for the same effort, and that's to continue to stay ahead at every level. The insurance, healthcare problem that we're having, obviously, is across the nation. And so we're seeing that just how, we were hit with an increase. And I don't doubt that we're going to be hit again with another increase. And I do hope that eventually, coming out of this year, maybe we could put some safeguards to help us, in the new fiscal year, which starts what, July 1?
Starts in July.
July 1, yeah. And hopefully these other folks and businesses that have yet to open will get there. And that's all we could do. But thank you for that. And then later on, I'm sure you have another item that we're going to be discussing. So I'll keep it short. Thank you.
I make a motion on item 10. Please vote.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Discussion 11.
Yes, we have Kimberly Mack from our housing department that's prepared to speak about the emergency housing vouchers.
Yep.
HVs.
Sounds good.
Yeah, to the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
That was one of the items that I had asked to be pulled. But
Okay.
thank you, Kimberly. I know there's been some made mention here this evening that, we have to pay this back. Absolutely. It can't be used for other resources, other things, And it's unfortunate because if you remember way back in the day, you weren't here, but we got slapped in the hand by HUD. And ever since that time, we've been suffering because they decreased our CDBG money, which is our community development block grant money, and we had to make a payment arrangement on some other things that was done up here that should have never been done. And it took some time for us to have to pay that back, some $2.5 million. And on top of that, the decrease, with the slap that we got and a payment plan and then decreased in CDBG just really hurt us, and we haven't been able to come out of that. So to have to return something, that's also, unfortunate. But I just wanted to ask, basically, how we are doing in the emergency voucher program. How are we doing in that program?
That's a great question. So the emergency housing voucher program is closed. It has closed 5 years earlier, which is why HUD is recovering the funding that they are for the service fees. When they started the program, they initially expected it to run until 2030, but given the amount of individuals that they assisted and how hard the PHAs worked to house people that were in a vulnerable position very quickly, they ran out of money. And so we had to shut the program down. And so right now we're in a position where you have to find other programs to house these people until HUD determines something else. Right now, initially it was stop accepting any vouchers, don't issue any vouchers, stop housing people, stop leasing, use the funding you have to continue to assist the individuals that are already leased. Now they are providing additional HAP, but very sporadically. So it's a little bit of confusion as to when that program was sunset for each housing authority. Initially, based on our cash balances for our residents, it was going to be April, but since they started supporting us with more HAP, that is undetermined at this time, and actually hard to forecast for our upcoming budget. So we're waiting on HUD to see what they're going to do. Ideally, we expect them to make a decision and do full voucher management systems reconciliation by the end of April, and hope to have a more definitive answer for what will happen with those residents.
Can you real quickly, because I know folks are watching on, TV, and can you just real quickly give us what is considered an emergency? What is considered an emergency to get a voucher, to qualify for a voucher?
So this program was specifically for individuals who were suffering from the homeless situation, homeless prevention, individuals that were dealing with VAWA, and it was a very specific small group of people to be assisted, and that's it. It wasn't an emergency voucher, I'm going through eviction, I need housing now. It's not that kind of program. There was very specific qualifications for it. They had to fall under the definition of HUD's homeless requirements. To be eligible for it, it had to come through COC referrals. LASA was our continuum of care at that time, so all referrals had to come through them. We couldn't even house our own people without them being sent there first. It was a very strict and regimented program.
Right. I just wanted to, have you say that because, I receive a lot of calls and emails, and I'm sure Councilmember Montero and others, for folks looking for housing, and they're saying it's an emergency. They're within days of being evicted, especially seniors that are living on their own, and have only a set income, and unfortunately, some landlords are not compassionate enough to continue renting to them, and ultimately they end up being the first to be evicted. But I had one just recently on my voicemail, pleading, begging, and to hear those calls and to hear those requests are really heartbreaking. That's the come I really want to push, and I'm sure Montero wants to. Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Montero wants to push on the fact that we have to look at housing in a different way. When we're inquiring acquisitions of property and things like this, what we could do with that and how we could assist those that are needed the most, right? But I just wanted you to just make mention that, and that's really all. Because because the folks had questions with regards to can it be used somewhere else, but no, we have to return it.
Through
Thank you
the
for that.
chair.
Yes.
So Kimberly, just touch a little. It's not about this, but just tell them about that we have now. The Subway COG have contracted the Sam Magnet Center, right, to be one of the providers that will give rental assistance to those people that having some type of emergency or situation they cannot pay the rent, because what we're trying to do is to prevent them to become homeless. So there is money that has been given to St. Margaret Center in Lenox to help Hawthorne and some other residents of different South Bay cities that could pay their rents up to 3 months. So there is right now help and money available, but they have to have a critical emergency or situation. So but there is some money.
Thank you for that, Mayor, to the chair. I'll go ahead and make a motion on that if I could get a second.
I second.
Please vote, guys.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks for those questions.
Thank you.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay, thank you. Item 12, discussion. Item 12, discussion.
Yes, we'd like to bring up our finance director again to talk about item 12, which is increase investments in the 3 to 5 year pure fixed investment.
Okay, before we start, whoever pulled the item, if they have an initial question, please. Or unless you want to defer to her presentation.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'll listen to her, and then maybe she'll answer my question. And
Thank you.
I'm not sure what
Number
it was that
12?
you needed to know.
Well, Felice, if you can just give a summary, basically what's in maybe the discussion of the agenda for this item.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We are looking to invest an additional $20 million with MBS, multi-bank securities. The reason we're doing this is because we're trying to lock in interest rates. They are dropping. We know that it is expected to drop more. As I said earlier, our investments have dropped about $840,000 just in this first 6 months of the year. We, with this investment, expect to get us back up to that level, at least 800 to 850,000, possibly more, depending on the rates change daily. So that's why I put in a range of what our expected earnings could be. So depending on where we lock the rates, either tomorrow or the day after, once if this is approved, I will contact our representative, and he will immediately start to work on investing this money, but it will take a couple days. So depending on where these rates are locked, we could earn between $800,000 to $900,000 a year. So that will benefit us in where our interest rates dropped this year.
So is it that 800 is based on us adding an additional 20 million to the 75 million that we have in there?
No, we currently, no, that 75 million is what's in LAIF.
Okay.
And LAIF is going to be paying much less than what we are trying to lock in right now.
So you're going to take the 20 million out of that and then
To
put it
invest
over
in-
here.
Right.
Okay. And then my question is, you said 3 to 5 years, but in the discussion it says that you have to lock in for 5 years.
We can lock in up to 5 years. We cannot, our investments cannot be any more than 5 years. So he is going to be looking for opportunities for anything, between 2 to 3 to 5 years, whatever the best options are for us.
Okay. That was my question. Thank you.
Yep, to the chair.
Yes.
Thank you again, Felice. I had similar questions. However, when you say lock in, and you're saying that getting in early gives us a potential to get more in interest, in a more better interest, right? You mentioned 800,000. Are you saying that's like a forecasted number?
That's a potential, right?
forecast?
Depending, like I said, wherever we lock the rates,
Yeah.
because they're fluctuating every day depending on what's going on with the economy.
Right.
So depending on where we lock in our rates, it could be, it could be at the $800,000 level, but we might end up at the 900,000. It just depends on what rate we happen to lock in that day.
And what are we planning to do with that potential source of?
This is just going to help us maintain current services because, as I believe I mentioned earlier, 26-27 revenues are coming in much lower than
Sure.
what we expected. So this is just going to help us maintain our current level of
Okay.
services.
Is there anything you could bring us that shows us, say, for instance, what we've been investing in the last several years, 5 years maybe, or 10 years?
In multi-bank securities, you mean?
Correct.
Yeah, because we've been investing in pretty much only CDs.
Right.
This will be the first time that we're going to invest in treasuries.
Okay. Yeah.
Point of information, Mr. City Attorney, her request, is that to be taken now or during the request, during the directive?
I think she somewhat answered the question, but if she needs further clarification, you can do it under council directives.
I don't have any directives. These are just questions that I'm asking.
Right.
There isn't anything that I've given you.
No, if you
And I-
wanted
Oh, you're talking about.
You wanted a
bringing
list
back-
of
Oh,
things.
I could always ask that
Yeah.
for, on an item, on a council item. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the answers. Go ahead.
You mentioned earlier that only you can do the transfer of moving the monies, right? So that just means no one else can have any.
City manager is
Okay.
authorized, our senior finance analyst. So if I'm not here, either one of them could initiate, but there has to be a dual authorization. So
Yeah, because
if
$20 million is.
Right. If I initiate, it has to be approved by Miguel. If he initiates, it approved by me. And then city manager would also be involved. He's got to sign off on the transfer as well.
Okay, thank you.
It's just a closed loop of those three people.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the chair? Yes. I'll go ahead and make a motion.
I second.
Please vote. Please vote.
Thank you, Felice.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
All right, thank you, guys. Item 13, discussion.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just want to recognize again our Kappa Delta Sigma chapter, Claris Espinosa. They've been providing, the organization has been providing to our seniors tax preparations, and so they're doing it again this year. It's by appointment starting March 7th through April 18th. They are looking for bilingual speakers to assist them in the process, so if you're interested in that, I'm sure we could post this on our website. But I just wanted to recognize the chapter and also the Brothers of Phi Delta Sigma fraternity that will be preparing for members of the city and county beginning Saturday the 7th through April 18th. And that's really what I wanted to make mention, especially for our seniors. And I'll make a motion on that.
Second.
Thank you.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay. Sorry, guys. City Attorney's consent calendar, please. Ms. Diana Cucalon, please.
Item 14, claim for bodily injury by Tony Tab. Recommended motion. Staff recommends that the city council deny the claim by Tony Tab.
I move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Mayor.
Sorry about that.
Okay, the votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay, let's take a quick look. Sorry, guys. There's no discussion items at this time, so we're going to do the elected officials' reports. Anything from the city clerk's office, Diana?
No reports.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So I believe last council meeting, Councilwoman Johnson went first?
I think I went first.
Okay, so Councilwoman Katrina Manning, go ahead with your elected officials' reports, please.
I wasn't prepared because I thought I would go after her.
Yeah, it's kind of, we're just trying to give everybody a chance to go first in different order, as a successive order, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, Mayor. So you're changing the
As we go,
way?
yeah.
Is it every other meeting?
Every meeting.
Is this every other meeting? Because I'm not familiar with you making me go first.
So, look, so basically she went first, then you, and then Councilwoman Angie Reyes English.
And then
Then now it'll be you, her, and then it'll be Councilwoman
Well,
Angie Reyes
can
English.
we just put on a record that this should be a continuation? Because I feel like when we come to council meeting, you just pick and decide at a moment's notice, oh, I'm gonna just go first.
No, I did state that at a previous meeting that I was going to.
Let it be said for the record that tonight, that Councilwoman Katrina Manning is going. So the next council meeting, because it seems to be just between my colleague to my right and myself going back and forth.
No, it's been.
So.
Point of information, Mr. City Attorney, did I state this at a previous meeting?
I don't recall, but I can tell you that under the municipal code, the presiding chair shall decide all questions of order.
And if you look back at the previous council meetings, I've had a fair rotation where it's been, each individual peer has started discussion. So everybody gets a chance to go in the varying order.
Okay. I don't have anything to say.
No? Okay. Councilwoman
I
Angie Reyes
wasn't
English?
prepared.
Okay. Councilwoman, Angie Reyes English, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me just once again thank all of our staff for all the work that you've been doing, doing a great job. I continue to get residents calling or asking for bulky items to be picked up, especially after the long weekends or weekend where folks are still dumping furniture and mattresses, things, etc. But I also want to express my gratitude because it does not sit there very long when you report it. It's picked up fairly quickly. And I appreciate that greatly because unlike other communities, it's an eyesore. But I have to commend the Public Works, its staff, and all that they're doing. If I could get an applause for the Public Works Department. I mean, we could talk about, you know, tree limbs hanging over stop signs, can't see the stop sign, can't see signage, etc. You report it, they come out, they do what they need to do immediately. And that's what I love about our city of Hawthorne. So thank you for that. I also want to just make mention of everyone that participated today from our department staff on the presentations that you provided for us and gave us additional information. Thank you for that. It takes a lot of work just to do you know, the presentations and bring factual information. And some of the stuff that I'm taking ear to is especially the meter parking program, and it's long overdue. There's businesses along the Hawthorne Boulevard corridor that has been suffering for years, businesses that have been wanting to do something similar to this and continue to keep cars moving, and that's important for the businesses and just to assure that full fairness. I still want to, at some point, address the businesses that have managed to get licensed for, you know, unpermitted uses along the boulevard, which I think is still a problem, especially with regards to religious institutions that are not, you know, permitted on the boulevard, and also car repair businesses that are using the center medium to park, you know, their vehicles, which again, if you're a business, especially a auto body or repair business, you need to be able to keep your cars, contain your vehicles in your property of business. And this seems to be a problem, especially along the Prairie Avenue corridor and the Hawthorne Boulevard corridor, when you see also businesses using that for their parking exclusive. So I'm very excited to see the potential that this new program will have on the city. Again, it's long overdue, and I have to commend staff for their work and efforts to bring, you know, something such as this to us and work along those contracted entities to help us get through. I still will probably look at the fees that are being considered, especially along the Northrop Way and Prairie, and especially on Hawthorne Boulevard, and especially for businesses such as, you know, fitness businesses that have 24-hour business hours. And I think that those are the things that we, you know, we had obviously given them those permits, but, you know, now today, we're going to work to correct that. Let's see what else. I want to thank again the Public Works and contractors for doing the alley improvement projects. Some of those alleys are way overdue. Just not too long ago, we had one over off of Prairie and 126th Street. It was, you know, dirt, gravel. Now it's paved with cement, and it's nicely done. And it's also one that helps with the wash. If there's water that needs to be, you know, given the ability to wash down an alley versus standing still, that's not helpful, because standing still water obviously attracts a lot of mosquitoes and things like this. But got to give it to our Public Works, and especially finding monies to do it through grant writing efforts. And again, very happy for that. At some point, I'm going to bring back, you know, solar panels again, and some discussions on that, because I think we need to continue that discussion. And I just really want to commend everybody that is doing great work. And again, today, our restaurants that were able to come out and showcase their foods, which I think is people like that. They like to be able to come out and showcase. I'd like to see some more of that. And then obviously, maybe we could do another restaurant week during the holidays. You know, I think that would be fun too during the holidays. But yeah, thank you. I know there's one other school project that I don't know what date it is, and maybe you know, but it's at one of our schools over here in Hawthorne. You have it? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'll let you say it. I'll let you say it. Okay, but other than that, thank you, Vaughn. Happy birthday, and thank you, everybody. Can I talk a little bit about what happened today regarding the mall? Okay, yeah? Okay, so today, this morning, I was invited along with my council colleague to a court hearing with regards to our mall across the street. You know, maybe you don't know, I'm sorry. The efforts that we've been trying to make to get this building once and for all either developed or demolished has come to a head. And we've been able to prevail, in a sense, on making efforts to do just that. And so today it was important for council colleagues to participate and show face to the judge, just so that they could see that we mean business and that we are on board with regards to whatever it is that our attorneys need to do to get this resolved once and for all. And so we're supporting our outside counsel and our current counsel, Mr. David here, with regards to trying to get this building either demolished or, from what I understand, developed. And that's not going to happen anytime soon. So it's the latter. And I just want to say thank you for inviting us and having us participate and being able to just hear what is happening in the court systems with regards to the mall. Because in history of the mall, in my time on the dais, I have not ever been invited to a court hearing regarding any matter.
Neither have I.
And so this was impressing to me, and just the fact that I woke up early just to make sure that I was there, because the traffic alone to downtown, you know, and to have a hearing at 8:30, we mean business. And so whenever that happens again, I recommend other individuals on the dais here, engage and participate, because, showing face and showing the judge a full council that has had enough, and the community that has suffered with this, I want to call it what it is, but I just like the fact, or I should say, am very happy with the fact that we're finally getting somewhere once and for all. And I'll let Mayor Pro Tem talk if he wants, or yourself, but that's it for me. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I just want to say my thanks to both of you for coming today. Because I don't want to potentially have anyone allege a potential Brown Act violation, I couldn't invite all 5 of you.
Right.
But there is another hearing coming up on May 18th, and I will extend the invitation to 2 other council members.
Actually, that's a good idea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Councilwoman Faye Johnson.
Thank you, guys. Happy birthday. Hope we see many more. I would like to make a point of clarification on the Veterans Affairs Commission. You do not have to be a veteran to be on that commission. All you have to do is have a heart for veterans. So if you want to be involved, let the mayor know. Go ahead and fill out the application for that, because we definitely could use folks on that. And then, Vaughn, if you could elaborate more on if someone is doing construction at 6:30 in the morning, what would you recommend for
Well, we recommend not to wait to come to council and complain. I say be active, get on the phone right away, call the non-emergency police number, or when we open at 7:30, call Public Works directly, or planning, or 311. There's several opportunities, in my opinion, instead of waiting until every other Tuesday to make that complaint. We have resources available. We have code enforcement in the field every day. We have our inspectors in the field. So there's several resources that a community member can tap into.
And what are, do you know the hours off the top of your head, what
I think it's
construction
8
hours?
a.m., Akbar, am I correct? On
I thought it was
7 Monday through Friday, and is it 8 a.m. Saturday and Sunday? And what time Monday through Friday? 7 a.m.? 5 a.m.?
What happened? Oh,
5
my God.
Oh, we're gonna
Akbar,
bring
you
that
sh-
item back.
Sorry, go ahead. All right, you got the floor. Keep going.
So 7:30 Monday through Friday, and 8
okay.
a.m. Saturday and Sunday.
Everybody almost gave me a heart attack over here. I was like, what?
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
All right, thank you. And then Councilwoman Manning and I had requested for FAA, a rep from FAA to come and brief us about the airport, to kind of put to rest some of these continual complaints that we get about airplane flying in the middle of the night. Do we have control over that? The answer is no. That is a FAA issue, and it would really help if we could. I don't know where we are with that because
Absolutely. We reached out to FAA, and they refused to come out at this time. They don't have the resources or the bandwidth, basically, to come out to answer those questions.
Is there a way that we could potentially get like a brief from them, or their regulations, or something that we
I'll
can?
have staff reach out
yeah.
to them, put together a sheet. We probably can obtain that
Fact
off their
sheet,
website.
yeah.
But as far as physically coming down, they have turned down that request or that ask.
Okay, because it would help. I really think that we need to continue to repeatedly get the word out. That's all we can do. We don't have control over aircraft that come in and out of that airport, what time, how, how large, what time they fly. This council, our city employees have no control over that.
If you can bring that back as a council directive, I would appreciate it.
I don't have enough council directives. Would you like to take that one on? I mean, I don't have any left. I'm only allowed 2, right?
2, yes.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
There's always the next meeting.
I got 2.
You already have 2?
I have 2.
They're doing council
You wanna
reports.
share?
No, these aren't directives. This is an elected official report, then we're going to move to directives after this item here.
Right, but I already have 2 directives I'm going to give. I don't have a third unless
Well,
somebody
it's
wants to
always
share.
March 24th. You can bring that back.
Okay.
Fact
Because I
sheet.
have 2
FAA fact sheet. Okay.
directives.
I also want to thank the Hawthorne Police Department for hosting me on a ride-along. I got to ride along with K-9 Officer Scovald, and he was outstanding, and I got to meet the K-9s, and another officer, Sam, she was awesome with her K-9, and you always have, you either have the curse of nothing happens or the curse of everything that happens. And I was told that Councilwoman English had the curse of everything happened, and I got the curse of nothing happened. So it was okay. It was great. I got a chance to meet with everybody and get out into the community and have an opportunity to see our police officers in action, and it really changes your mindset about what you see on TV and what you hear about in other communities. We really do have an outstanding police force. They're not out to get you. They're not out to beat you up and shoot you. And I mean, they do everything they can to, not issue a ticket. And I saw that firsthand when I was out on the ride-along. So it was really great, an opportunity to get close to the community. And we're going to have a really busy month this month. In addition to the spring event that the city is holding, the Earth Day spring event on March 28th. There it is, March 28th from 10 to 2. And it's going to be, I want to say at the Memorial Center? Yes, it's at the Memorial Center from 10 to 2, Saturday, March 28th. And the weekend before that, on March 21st at Eucalyptus Park, North Hawthorne is again having their Easter egg hunt. And they gave out a few thousand Easter eggs last Easter egg hunt. So come join us on that. That starts at 11:30. There's going to be games, raffles, photo booth prizes, and that's going to be from 11 to 2 at the Eucalyptus Park. So both weekends, the end of this month, we're going to be full, and then we get to start with our farmers markets starting in April from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on every Sunday at the Betty Ainsworth Sports Center. So that's going to be great too. And that's it for me. Thank you guys very much.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, good evening, everyone. Thank you for listening and for coming. I appreciate all the inputs that you guys brought in tonight. I want to, again, I said thank you to all the staff for what you do, because like I said, without you, we don't shine. So you guys are the pillar of the city. So keep doing a great job. I want to say thank you to the Public Works, because I know they have a lot of work. They have like 30 different projects. Those are all money that's come to the city.
Yes.
We want to say thank you for the parking pilot project, because it's overdue, and we need to show that we are protecting our residents and also create more parking availability to across the city. Because like I said, a lot of stuff are coming to this area, and we don't want people to be parking in our streets and damage our road, and then we do not have no benefit. So thank you for that. Again, I want to say thank you to all the business that came participate with us on that restaurant week, and I just wanted to say that Hawthorne, we are always in forefront of innovation, and that is where we're trying to get ahead of these issues like the FIFA World Cup, the Super Bowl 27, and LA 28, because we want to make sure that Hawthorne will get a piece of pie. Because if we don't talk, if we don't participate, we will get zero. So we need to make sure that we raise our voice in all those communities meetings with our stakeholders, like the Inglewood mayor, the Holly Mitchell, the supervisor, and even our congresswoman. So we have to bring them all on board to make sure that these communities are not going to be left behind. Just a few notes that, like DJ mentioned about the $50 million for the Measure M. So I'm heavy advocating for us to get that money through the South Bay COG and through Metro, because we definitely need those parking structures to be built. So we definitely want to do that. And talking about the South Bay COG, so on March 26th, there is the 26th General Assembly that all of you are invited. So make sure you go to the South Bay COG website and register yourself, because they have to count for lunch. It's free from 9 to 3, and it's going to be right here on Manhattan Beach on the West Drift Hotel that is right there on Park View. Basically, it's parallel to Rose Grant Avenue. So 9 to 3 p.m., and they have about 200 parking space that is available for those first come, first serve. After that, it's $20. So you want to get there early.
What day?
March 26th, Thursday, March 26th, 9 to 3 p.m. Make sure you go online and register yourself. And I want to say another thing from the South Bay COG. I have to tell you that last week, yeah, 2 weeks ago, actually it was last week, I abstained in one of the propositions because I have not talked to you guys about it, but the LA County sales tax that Michael Migo brought, the sales tax that's going to be increased, 2% sales tax. It was it's going to be like AB 1768. The COG voted to oppose the sales tax increase. So, but I abstained because I didn't have the consent of all of us. So, but if you guys want to do something about it, you can take a vote. But I abstained because I didn't want to, overreach my power. And then there is another bill to watch, okay, on the state. They call SB 677. It's another housing issue that would limit local government, again, to dictate permits and heights and standards and capacity, all those kind of stuff, okay?
Who brought it up?
It's on the assembly. They don't have the name who brought it up. But just to keep in mind on that, so the COG also is asking us to oppose that bill, okay? SB 677. Winner. Scott Winner. Your friend, Scott Winner.
Oh, no, put him in front of me, I'll talk to him.
Okay, and the other thing I want to say thank you to the South Bay Web, South Bay Workforce Investment Board, Jen Vogel, for sending us another quarter report, well done reports, and to see that South Bay continue to put people to work, and especially the young people to apprenticeship programs. Okay. The other thing. Be with me. The other thing that I want to say is that the Hawthorne School District have inviting us for the grand open of another Venice clinic. And believe it or not, this is the second one. And all those facilities actually was built by Moneta Gardens Improvement, and literally by me, at York School, so I did donate that building back to the Hawthorne School District, and then the Zella Davis also give back to them so they could create this Venice clinic. So on March 25th, Wednesday, March 25th at 2 o'clock, 2 to 5 p.m. at Zella Davis School, Athletic Field, the best entrance, I'd say go on Combe Bloom. The best entry is on Combe Bloom, because if we go to the Yukon, you will not be able to get in. But they're going to have the grand open of the second Venice clinic that all the community can take benefit. So March, and I'm going to ask for a proclamation. Okay, so. The other thing that I want to just mention quickly, and people, we are trying to work with the community and give them everything we can, but we cannot give everything for free, okay? So we got a lot of people complain about fees, about this, about that. Stop complaining, because the city of Hawthorne have to run a business. If we give our farm away, what can we do? We go bankrupt. And you see how the budget, we almost dead even. So we need to create money for our general funds, and to pay the staff, and continue to do this outstanding work. So stop complaining when we send you an invoice, and then you try to call council member, trying to email them to waive fees, because that's not our job, okay? So I'm putting it out there.
I second that motion.
Thank you. And the other thing that I wanted to talk to all of you, because I'm tired of people having meetings in their corners, and then they say that, oh, Hawthorne is not business friendly. We're not bringing business to Hawthorne, that we're not doing nothing. So I just want people to understand that all of us here, we are trying to bring new business to Hawthorne every single day. Our staff, Vaughn and planning department, all the business, they're trying to bring business to Hawthorne. So what I asked Vaughn to do, but probably it's going to be a directive, is to get some testimony from this business that has been opening, because when I go out there to do the ribbon cutting, they talk tremendous thank you to our staff, how easy it was to get permit, how easy it was to work with our staff. So I want them to get those testimony and put it on our social media, on our cable, so we can tell our critic people out there, I see a few of them that have loud mouth, telling us that we are not doing our job. If we're not doing our job, just become a council member. Run for office if you think you can do better than us, okay? So that's one, okay? And the other thing that I asked Vaughn to promote our city, to brand our name, I want that Hawthorne Tower to be light up, put lights on it, bright red and blue, so it can shine at night. Because when we fly the airport, we only see this little red light. So, and that is a brand new, make it so that people can see this is Hawthorne. This is the city of good neighbor. The water tower.
Mayor Pro Temp, are you going to bring these items during the directives?
I'm going to give you directives.
Okay,
yes.
noted, thank you.
But but I'm just talking about my frustration because I'm telling you, people goes and they go to those meetings, then they call me and then they text me, oh, people are saying this, people are saying that. We have full-time jobs here too. It's not city council, it's not our full-time job. But for me, I go to maybe about 20 different meetings to advocate for this city. So it's because I'm my own boss, so I can do everything I want. But anyway, but on that note, I want to say thank you, because our city is going in the right direction. Our staff is working, dueling every single day, 24/7. One never rest. Even sometimes I have to say, go home, don't answer the phone. But we have a great city attorney now. It's putting us on the right track. Like I said, we went to the court, listened to the judge. Actually, the judge was actually he was laughing on the mall attorney because he said, I don't know, asking us to waive fees again for demolition. Come on, who have gave us nothing for 25 years?
Oh man, wow.
So that is what we have to deal with. So thank you, and God bless you all. Good night.
I'm gonna grant a quick go back to our council colleague, but I just have it on record that we're gonna be rotating from now on. No more go backs. Go ahead.
No more go backs.
No, but good. No,
Okay.
Just go ahead. What's important for you?
I just wanted to say thank you to Chief Lang. This weekend, we had an opportunity to attend Holly Park Little League baseball opening day, and they had their truck out there giving out popcorn and I believe lemonade. And so the folks really enjoyed it. They always enjoy free stuff. So we had a great time, and the chief came out and spoke to the crowd, and so it was really cool. And I had an opportunity to throw out the first pitch.
Strike.
The ball.
First pitch.
So the first pitch. I'm still learning what football is. I mean, baseball. They all got balls, so. Yeah, so anyway, I just want to say thank you for our police department, always supporting the community, always out there to give a hand and make sure that they're engaging with the community. So folks can't say that our police department is not out there supporting them, and the only time you see them is when you're in trouble. I want it to be very clear that they are out there celebrating and enjoying the community in addition to doing their jobs.
Amen.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, thank you. Thank you for your comments. Okay, I guess we're gonna close it out with, I have some comments. I just wanna cross them out as I go. The half-cent sales tax, I'd like to see what we could do to oppose that as a council. I just think we need to be careful with that. And that's gonna be something that's gonna be incurred by us. It's gonna shift our current sales tax up a half% as well from what we already have.
2% up.
0.5% up for us too? If we have something established, it's gonna raise ours, or is it just gonna be in the county or unincorporated areas?
No.
Mr. City Attorney?
Let me clarify, are you talking about the TOT taxes?
No, this half-cent sales tax, that county, that Holly Mitchell's
Yeah.
put it on the.
It's the entire county.
Yeah, it does apply to the entire county.
LA County.
And we're part
So
of LA
it'll
County.
raise us by 0.5 cent?
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of something, it's like, wait a minute, so think about it, we already struggled and made studies to be able to see where we're comfortable at, and then the county wants to impose this, not impose, but have a vote for this, and I think we just need to organize ourselves. If we're gonna oppose this, then we need to organize ourselves for the proper messaging as a city, because we wanna leave things alone. It's just gonna, not work out that well. The FAA turning down our requests is very disappointing, very discouraging, and I think it's shameful that they're not coming and responding. I don't think they want to show face to all the people who are opposed to some of the things that are happening there to be able to answer that. But again, it's their responsibility. They're the ones that have to answer to it. Bottom line, it's not us. We try to like answer and be, give all these white papers to the residents. Ultimately, it's them. We need to direct them to the FAA and our Congresswoman's office. It's not like I got it out for her or anything, but she needs to respond. She needs to have town hall meetings. She needs to have her deputies organize people on her end answering, because it's in her department. It's not us. So I think those are just simple comments, basic comments. I think we just need to, have them show some face and answer these questions. Because if what's going to happen if an FAA guy comes in here, they're gonna say, go through your city so they can call us. No, they're gonna be the ones that need to be contacted and be able to respond to what's going on at that airport. We just get unnecessary flack from our specific area of our city that, we just need to. The more and more we try to have these little town hall meetings, the more and more people think it's our responsibility. So I think we just need to be careful with what we do. The fees, you're right. Fees, people need to pay their fees. There's certain things that we need to raise in the city. And it's not that, hey, you know what, Hawthorne is not being business friendly. These fees need to go up, because the thing is, there's like 2 or 3 fees that we might be raising. And if we compare our fees on the different things that are out there on the horizon within the next 2 or 3 meetings worth, if we compare them to other cities around here, we're lower than them. We're lower than them. We're not on par with them. And these are smaller cities that, have like higher fees than us. I mean, so, I think we just need to be at a different position. We need to be competitive too. And, we haven't adjusted our fees for certain things for many, many years, decades. And, we've left them alone. So Hawthorne's not being business friendly, it's being business responsible. That's the difference. And I do also agree with the comments made by my colleague. The businesses are being brought by our city manager, who gets contacted and started engaging people. And every single one of us has been contacted by a business that is looking at moving into the city of Hawthorne. We are the community development individuals. It's our responsibility. And there's no shortage of people that are contacting our city hall offices. You guys all need to know that. There's no shortage, because we're in such a pristine location here in the city of Hawthorne. We don't have to promote that we have vacant real estate, or that proper warehouses are being sold, that business, properties are being sold, commercial properties are being sold. There's people on the lookout for those. They just have to engage with the city, and I can tell you that our city manager, with the assistance of the city attorney and staff, are doing a fine job engaging with them and promoting the virtues and the benefits of being here in the city of Hawthorne. So for that, I'm very thankful. So let's give them a round of applause for that. And we all are doing our jobs unknowingly, that when we get these calls from people trying to facilitate things and the conversation. So certain things we got to be careful with, right? But, kudos to us too. A ver, where am I at? So yeah, that was a great discussion on the parking. I think it's good. Those 2 areas, I think that we just need to, I might ask for a directive on that. Let me just see. What was funny? Oh, okay, it just happens, right? Okay. All right. Okay, so this next one, who's the staff person in charge of the Veterans Commission?
That would be our HR department.
HR department?
Under my authority.
Could I ask her some questions, or should I just ask you?
Erica, are you? Okay, thank you.
All right. Do we have 3 individuals on the commission?
We have 3.
Okay.
2 are active and 1 is mostly not available.
Oh, okay, but they just come and wear their uniform and come up for the shows during all the different events that we have, right?
Yes.
I think that, I think,
Yes. That's for the veterans. Yes, we have 3, but
okay.
2
So we
are-
have enough people to have a meetings.
No, we have the people, but they don't show up for the meeting.
Then it's one person. How many
It's
have they met?
one.
How many have they missed?
We have not. We had a meeting the March 1st. I'm sorry, March 2nd, and we didn't have one in February. We did not have one in January. We did not have one in December.
All from the same person missing?
From the same person missing.
Sir, can you look at that? Because there's like a rule of 3. If they miss 3 meetings in a row, that's it by default. It's unacceptable that we can't have a meeting because of that person. Okay? Can you just take a look at that? I mean, this is just part of the conversation, you know. Or
Yes.
if you need a directive for that, just let me know. Just remind me right now that, you know. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Oh, and then also,
I was just going to say, we have to always make sure that we're complying with our municipal code. So I'll look into that regardless of any council directive, because if they're missing already, I need to look into that.
yeah, there's 3 and that's out. Right? You guys know the rules, right, commissioners? All right, so we can't just play around with that stuff. But then another concern, though, with our Veterans Commission is that I just need to be very straightforward. There's some of the meetings, I want to know what they're doing. It's not just the report card of what's happening outside of the city of Hawthorne. And one of the main complaints I've gotten from people who have attended those commission meetings, I just need to say it straight out, is that there is no focus. People are coming in there and spending, individual commissioners are spending the time just talking about what's happening around the country with regards to veterans issues. And so it's not a discussion group. There has to be purpose in what they're doing there. There has to be plans on outreach to our community to be able to bring in and do outreach to our veterans. Do we have like a list, like not a catalog, but like a list of how many veterans we have in the city of Hawthorne? When was the last time that we sent something out to them on behalf of the Veterans Commission? What events have they had for the veterans that we have in the city? There has to be some focus there, and I haven't seen it. And I've had complaints from people, other commissioners on there, that people are spending their time basically holding the meetings hostage, talking about stuff that's not relevant to Hawthorne. Those are discussions that could be had in another forum, but the purpose of the Veterans Commission has to be, how do we do outreach to the city of Hawthorne's veterans? That has to be the purpose of what that is. And if it's not happening, we might need to reconstitute the whole Veterans Commission. Just my opinion. Those are just comments. If the rest of the council agrees, if don't, but I just need to put it out there because there's just no purpose having a commission that doesn't do anything.
There have been a number of items that they have discussed, but nothing came to fruition. For whatever reason, they fell off. There was no follow-up. It just didn't happen.
Okay, so my comments, I think we just need to think about that, put on the back of our, thoughts. So thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you. All right, so guys, directives.
To the chair.
Yes, go ahead. First.
I have 2 directives. Vaughn, if I could ask that we do some kind of quarterly reporting from either you or a designee on your behalf about businesses, vacant or boarded up properties that we have. And this is for the Hawthorne Boulevard between El Segundo Boulevard and Rosecrans, if we can take a look at that area specifically. And then businesses that have recently closed or they're getting ready to close. And then businesses that are expected to open or move into that area. And then maybe also, this will provide for us some transparency. And the second thing that kind of hit home with me with knowing what's coming into your area. And we have a business right there on the corner of Inglewood and 118th Place that used to be a ServPro, and out of the blue, people started going in and out, in and out, in and out. And finally, some of the neighbors started complaining, and you guys go down and look at it, and lo and behold, it's a whole new business with no business licenses and construction and trash removal, and, oh, we're not doing anything. Really? Okay, you want to speak on that, what we found there?
Absolutely, and I think that goes into Felice's presentation and compliance and our permit fees being down. I think in our city, a lot of people are taking ownership to do construction without doing it the correct way by coming down, doing a plan check, pulling permits, and this is why we've seen a deficit or a lower amount in our permit fees. So as you mentioned, Councilwoman, you asked Greg and I, was a new business going in there? We sent code enforcement to take a look, and lo and behold, there's several men working in there with a dumpster framing with no permits. So we issued them a stop order item, and they will have to come down to City Hall and pull permits. This happens a lot in our city. And when we do enforce, we normally, like Mayor Pro Tem said, then we get the complaints that we're hard to work with, we're being difficult. But it all starts with not being in compliance from the start.
And I think it goes back to, I'm sorry?
I was going to say, how can we figure that out so that?
Well, I mean, if we have them reporting out quarterly, that would help us know what's coming in, what's going out. If you see something, say something, ask that question, especially as residents, because if you have a business coming into your area and they're not paying the appropriate fees that they need to do that, that's hurting you as a member of the community, and we're not able to have the services that we're supposed to have. I mean, the pictures that I saw of what was going on in there was a lot of framing. And what if it's not done properly? We don't know if it's being done properly, and it could easily be looked at as a liability for the city if somebody goes in there into a business, one of our residents or somebody visiting, and they go in and they get injured. And that's money and revenue that we should be getting that goes back into the community for you guys. So if you see something, say something, ask that question. But if we have you guys reporting out quarterly, letting us know what's going in and out, I think that would provide some transparency. You're wondering, why is this building boarded up? Or now I see it was boarded up, now I see somebody going in there. Are they supposed to be in there? And that's where community activism has to come into play. So that would be my directive.
And before you vote on that item,
let's address
Councilwoman,
that
can I read off a few in this quarter that businesses that are coming?
Yes.
I can name a few that's in the monthly report that was shared with City Council. We have SpaceX with several tenant improvements. We have New Era, South Bay Phase 1 on Cornbloom, Schiff Hotel at 12043 Hawthorne Boulevard, Hilton Garden Hotel on Acacia, the True Hotel at 4334 West Imperial Highway, Chipotle at 5001 El Segundo near the 405 freeway, and McDonald's at the 133rd block of Inglewood Avenue.
To the chair. I'm Fawn, I just wanted to ask you your opinion, and is there a way that we can maybe stop that, like having the business license communicate with Public Works, or is there a way that we can stop them going in, doing this construction, and then later? Because I do remember a couple of times you were very supportive in trying to help businesses, but then they didn't have all their paperwork properly, and then they kept going back and forth with trying to get their paperwork completed. So I want to ask you, is there a way that we can stop this? And if you need some more time to like maybe respond back to this, but I know there's got to be a way to stop this, because I think I mentioned in the past that sometimes it could be embarrassing when people tell you what businesses are in your city and then you don't know, because you're like, oh, I didn't know that they were there. And then from there, you find out that these people didn't build a whole framework within inside. So I'm just wondering, is there a way that we could stop them from doing that work, like when they come to City Hall for some reason? I don't know the answer, that's why I'm asking you.
Well, I think as Councilwoman Faye Johnson said, the community, we're 90,000 plus. We have 5 code enforcement officers. So we need the community's help on identifying your neighbor, the business next door, if they're doing work. Even if they're not doing illegal work, it doesn't take but a second to pick up the phone or 301 and say, hey, can you verify this business is permitted to do this work? So I think it's more of a community ask request. It's only so much 5, workers can do in 40 hours a week. So I think code enforcement will assist with the compliance, but if we have our residents see something, say something, as many people up here have said, I think we can help with that issue. As far as every businesses having issues, every business is a little bit different. So it's kind of hard to wrap it into one item, but I think if the votes are voted on to move forward with a quarterly update, we will include that in the quarterly update if possible.
City Attorney, is it possible that we can request the owners or the landlords to notify us if they're going to be renting out that facility to a new business? Is that something that we can request from the landlords or the owners?
Perhaps we can require by way of ordinance in the future, yes.
To the chair.
And point of information, Mr. City Attorney, the discussion that our Councilwoman Manning had, is it germane to the topic at hand? Or would she have to make any separate request?
It's slightly separate. I would like it under council directives, if we can go ahead and rule on your request, you're directed, make a motion, have a second, and then proceed that way. We want to make sure that we have proceeded in an orderly fashion.
Just clarification, because I think we have valid concerns here with my council colleagues.
To the chair. Just so you know, if to my knowledge, they didn't even have a business license. So the city would not have known. So
Right.
that's where the community has to always be that watchdog, because that's your money going out the door. So.
Can we restate your request, please?
I'm asking for either Vaughn or the city manager give us via designated staff a quarterly update on properties that are going into the corridor of Hawthorne Boulevard between El Segundo and Rosecrans, either vacant buildings, boarded up buildings, businesses that are leaving, businesses that are coming.
Okay. Please vote.
Motion and a second?
She made the motion.
I did.
Second.
Yeah. I need a second.
I second.
Okay. Please vote.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes, with Councilmember Reyes English abstaining.
Mr. Mayor, can I get clarification on when this would start, or from the councilwoman quarterly? When we would present the first quarter? Would it be at the next meeting or moving 3 months ahead from March?
Can I let you decide that based on your staff and what
Absolutely.
you can put together?
All right, thank you.
Because I don't want to say next time around. You just reported out, basically, not on the boarded up businesses, but I know that's going to take some work. So whenever you and whoever you're going to be working with can get that to us.
Okay, will do. Thank you for the clarity.
Thank you.
You have a second item?
I do. The second item is a few council meetings ago, I made a suggestion about our wonderful City of Hawthorne store. That's cityofhawthornestore.com. Again, cityofhawthornestore.com, where all our great swag, our city swag, is located. And I had asked for Erica, because Erica is heading this up for her to look into getting possibly some earrings or some type of jewelry on the website. And she politely told me, not without a directive. So here's my directive. Vaughn, could you follow up on that? And also, I get a lot of calls, where do you get your pens? They want pens. They want the older pens, too, for history's sake. So if you could look at, not only the jewelry, but maybe offering the pens, lapel pens, and the older design also, lapel pens.
Second.
Second.
Please vote.
I forgot.
And during Christmas, I give 200 of those pins away, the old ones.
Yeah. People ask for them all the time.
Councilmember Manning?
Oh.
And thank you, Erica, for keeping me in line. I appreciate you.
Okay, the votes are in. The vote reflects Councilmember Johnson and Councilmember Montero voting yes. Councilmember Katrina abstaining. Councilmember English voting no. And Mayor Vargas voting yes.
That's right, so 3-2. I'm sorry, 3-1-1. It passes.
3-1-1.
3-1-1.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to give Sanctuary of Hope the rest of my stipends, but as I understood, I thought that they were on our list. Sanctuary Hope, Janet Kelly, the foster down the street.
Point of information, Mr. City Attorney, can you clarify for her?
They're not on the list.
So,
To the chair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sanctuary City has history with our city. They've been providing housing for our foster youth and youth, but this goes way back, way before Katrina Manning, or Councilmember Manning, or any other new council member, but they've been on the list. I don't know if it's been an oversight, just like the other one that you wanted on there, and it was not on the list. So we really need to get a hold of this list once and for all.
We can do it. We were talking about maybe doing an audit.
Yeah. But Sanctuary of Hope is right, their offices is right next to the bank here on Hawthorne Boulevard. And a matter of fact, they provided relocation assistance program.
Sounds like Councilmember Manning would have support, so just for clarification, I would make the motion, have a second, and put it on the list.
So, point of information, I'm willing,
Go ahead.
I think it's a good idea. What do we need to do in order to put them on the list first, and then just go ahead and grant her?
Well, technically, it should come up under discussion at a future council meeting, so you can have a discussion and not violate the Brown Act, go for the pros and cons. That would probably be the best approach.
Okay, so have it stated today of what's going to happen in the future. Can you state it for the future, how we're going to approach this, so that for the record?
So I would recommend, just to be clear, that you bring it up, Councilmember Manning, bring it up for a discussion item next time at the future council meeting, so you can discuss the pros and cons as to whether or not adding this group to the list. I understand now that there is some history. I anticipate you will get the support for it, and that way you can add it onto the list and we have an agreement.
Okay, so I can't add it on the list today. I got to bring it back.
Yeah, but you have the right to bring it up under discussion item.
Okay, so then so because I can't do that, then that's not my directive then. I
Correct.
was gonna put that to give you money. Okay. So then the other directive that I have,
Councilwoman, point of information to you. How quickly do they need this, the money?
you know
for
what?
whatever they need to do?
It was just that I had money left and I wanted to give them to them because they've been doing so much work in the community. They've been really stepping up in terms of our foster youth. And so I just wanted to basically reward them for the work that they've been doing with our foster youth.
I'm looking forward to supporting you at the next meeting. Okay?
Thank you.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
can I ask a favor, maybe, since it's going to be a discussion item next time, can all of us bring names and then check that list, and if nothing is there, and then you think any other organization that's going to be on the list, so just bring it the next council meeting so we can just put this to rest.
Please.
And I ask, think about names that you want on that list, create your own list, and then we discuss, we decide who's going to be there, who's not going to be there, and we'll move forward.
I thought they were on the list. I really did. I really did.
They probably should be, but unfortunately, they're not currently on the list that I have.
I think what happened in the past is we went through that list, and those people that have not been active per se, we took them out.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I know last year I went to their anniversary, and we gave them a certificate of appreciation from all of us for their 10-year celebration. So they've been pretty active, and I think the year before, Councilwoman English recognized them here at the council meeting. So it seems like each year that I've been here, they've been recognized by somebody on this
Just point of
council.
clarity that through Kimberly Mack, and correct me if I'm right or wrong, that we've given them money through her department. That's
Oh.
maybe where the miscommunication's coming. So to my knowledge, they aren't in our system. They don't have a W-9, but we have allocated money through our housing department to them, for their services.
That
Got
would
it.
explain it. I do second your idea. It would be a big help to staff to have it finalized once and for all. Please.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
Okay. All right. Well, then my first request is if you can bring back a presentation within the next 90 days as it regards to the TOT, what you guys are implementing, and what I spoke about earlier, the organization that said, I mentioned a number and you said that it might not be correct, but what you guys are doing, whether they've implemented their system and have they contact those folks to get that extra money that is owed to us. If you can bring back a presentation within the 90 days for that.
Councilwoman Manning, that's for short-term rentals, correct?
Right, for short-term rentals.
Second. Please vote. Councilwoman Angie Reyes English. Okay, let's.
Okay, so real quick. I just want to make sure what I'm voting on. What is your what are you making a request on?
A presentation to tell us what the company is doing as it regards to the short-term rentals. So we've got a contract with them for them to go and get the money that is owed to us.
Okay, so
right?
are we asking for the third party to come in? Are we asking for the third party that's actually doing the audit or the?
Potentially, I would need to talk to Councilwoman Manning to
So
see
who's
if she
doing the
wants
pres-
staff
who's
or does
doing
she
the
want the
presentation is
vendor
what
to
I'm
come.
I was gonna ask for staff
we
to
can
do the
that.
presentation, but it'll be up to you whether you feel that they should come or you should come. I mean, staff.
Okay.
I'll let you decide.
Please
Appreciate
vote.
that.
But
Thank you.
either way, I just want to know when we gonna get that money.
Absolutely, we'll do. Noted.
Thank you.
The votes are in.
Anybody over here have directives?
Oh, I still have one more.
Oh, I thought you had two.
No, because the first one wasn't a directive.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, they're still voting on that first directive. So.
The votes are in, and the votes reflect mayor and council voting yes.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Councilwoman.
and then my last directive, Vaughn, is that I've been approached by a few folks wanting to donate money to the city, and I wanted to find out how do I go about allowing them to donate money to the city.
You want to answer that, David?
Well, first of all, legally, you can do that. They can do that. But as far as the internal process, I don't know what the city of Hawthorne has done in the past.
Okay. All right, we'll look into that and prepare either a presentation or a conversation or a memo regarding your directive if it's voted on.
Second.
To the chair, can I just request a legal confidential with regards to how that process is made? I think that's probably easier for all of us.
Do you concede on that?
Sure.
Okay, so in the form of a legal confidential.
Thank you.
Sure.
Second. It's been seconded. Please vote.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you.
Anybody over here? Mayor Pro Tem?
Through the chair, like I mentioned, so I'm going to make a directive that since I believe that water tower is going to be renovated, right? There is a project on what?
Yeah, there was retrofit money from ARPA that we're looking at, not retrofitting. Is it retrofitting? Oh, retrofitting, I apologize. Long night, long day. Retrofitting.
Yeah, because I think that water tower is a great, landmark for us. Because even once upon a time, Nike wanted to put "Just Do It" sign on it for $200,000 a year, and that council at that time said no. So we could, mark that to show that the city of Hawthorne. The reason that I'm saying, because I saw something in Culver City the other night that I went down there, and they have actually a building that is, when I say welcome to Culver City, the whole building is lined up with lights, right? Like those beautiful lights that look like a shiny star, like a silver star. So what I want us to do, because since we're going to have all these world travels coming to us area, so we want to maybe put lights on that tower, right? I'm thinking maybe red, white, and blue, so that if you fly towards coming down to LAX, we can see that tower sometimes during the day. But at night, you only see that the red light. And even when you drive at night, you only see a red light on top, and even you don't read the word Hawthorne. So let's revamp that marquee to advertise our city. Okay, so look to do something and then present it to us and see what can we do. Okay.
Well,
Wait.
do you want to address that one?
Yes,
sir.
that's my directive.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Can you say it again?
I made a motion for us to use that water tower more effectively to highlight our city, and one of the things is to put light on it.
I second it.
Well,
What
I
can do.
Well, one at a time. Let's go. I got something, and then I'll give it to Councilwoman.
Let me say that because you guys did a fantastic job with the new logo, so I'm pretty sure you'll come up with some beautiful to go put over there, and then with lights. I want lights.
Well, what I can offer that I can work with staff. We can bring several renderings for discussion and for a vote and the cost. So this is not our first rodeo. Staff, we've created multiple things in the city, so we'll bring items to discuss and start from there.
Okay, so my comment was, I'm willing to support this item, but I just want to see viability first, because if it's not viable and it's going to be just the maintenance aspect, we're going to go up there once. It's not like we're going to get access to this thing, and if we don't have access to the to the top and think bulbs are going on, and then there's just LED diodes that are going out, LEDs, that's a permanent thing, and it's like.
Absolutely. So I'm going to research it, work with companies that improve water towers, obviously, and we'll give the best recommendation to City Council for a vote to move forward. But I just want to mind you, I don't think this is going to be at a low cost. I can see it being a pretty expensive. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Everything's expensive.
I don't think so.
To the chair, I
Yes.
think it's worth looking at least, so we can make an educated decision. Maybe you can look at, instead of the lighting on the tower, which the mayor brings up a good point, who's going to climb up the tower and change it? Spotlights from the bottom, or spotlights elevated from the ground up to, just a thought. I think it's worth looking into.
The thing is, now there is what are those fancy lights that usually the lifespan is 10 years, for example, right?
Yeah.
And the switch can be on the bottom. Nobody can need to go up there. So I have been thinking, Vaughn.
That is an appropriate directive, and it's an administrative task for you to look into the different options.
So I got a second.
Please vote.
From Councilwoman Faye.
Can I add something?
Later.
Yeah,
Why?
the vote's on the
This is a
rec.
pro and con discussion, isn't it?
We've already, we're moving on to the vote aspect.
Because they're gonna bring me those as some concept. Then you can say, I don't like it.
Okay,
Councilwoman,
well, I'm not gonna, because there's so much more than what was said. And that's the
Mayor Pro
discussion,
Tem.
right?
vote please.
Right?
That's my one of my, so, let me see, what else do I have?
Please announce the vote. Okay.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes, with council member Manning abstaining.
Okay.
Okay, so, my other directive is because, you know, I've been going to a lot of these meetings, and a lot of other cities, because we don't have no venues for sports that's coming to this area, but we have some other amenities like we say, hotel, restaurants, and short-term rentals. So I think the way we're going to bring money to our city, like the mayor was talking about, that there's going to be $2 billion out there, but for our city we might not have. So the only way we're going to bring some revenue to our city is to increase our TOT tax. It's a transfer-oriented tax that is not the city, the residents don't pay nothing for it. It's just the people that's coming to visit us, coming from all over the world, and they're talking about 50 million people coming to this area. So we need to take advantage that after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they're in our city, using our water, using our infrastructure, using our roads. We have money to fix them after they leave. But if we don't cash in, so we're going to be sucking our tongue. So I said, Vaughn, work with the finance and see and bring us an idea to increase that TOT. That's my directive.
A second.
Okay, motion and second. Go ahead.
There's no discussion? You guys just
No,
go
we
straight?
did-
I
we
mean,
did-
this,
Just go
there's
ahead,
no
go ahead.
discussion?
Go ahead, you have the floor.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You guys are just pushing stuff, and it's like, there's other, recommendations, suggestions, or other discussion. I've been voting the way I'm voting. It's like, you guys have no sense of, collectively looking at everyone's thoughts or ideas, or suggestions. So it's already a thought, it's already a vote. So it's like, does it even matter that, does it even matter? I mean, you're talking, I support revenue. I said
Yeah.
that early on.
But let me say that
Point of
this
order.
is just,
Let's-
it's just
make
a
clarification.
directives that is, they have to bring it back, and that is when the real discussion will go, right, for us to decide yes or no to vote on it. So this is just like a directive that, for them to go investigate and then to bring us like a result or summary and say, look, these other cities are charging this much, our city is the lowest one, so we should come up to their standard. But you can say anything, please.
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
I want to listen to your thought. Come on.
All right, vote,
Don't be
please
shy.
vote.
Oh, yeah, it is late.
Yep.
And I have a
Late.
sinus headache.
Okay.
Yeah.
The votes are in.
So directed to bring back a presentation on TOT. Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a directive?
I need a proclamation, okay? I can bring the proclamation, right? Yeah. So I need one proclamation for Wednesday, March 25th, for the grand open of the second Venice Clinic. So I'll give the information to Catherine Vaughn to you. And yeah.
Please vote. Not a
No,
vote?
I mean the vote.
Okay, thank you, sir, for bringing that up. All right. All right, I have no directives. You were thinking the same thing I was about the TOT. Oh my God, wow. Yeah. All right, folks, I just want to just make sure that everybody up here knows. I want to clarify something up here, that when, these are not final decisions that we're making up here, so that when somebody up here is asking for some type of report, I'll tend to err on supporting one of my colleagues, asking for some information so that we can determine if we could put something as a resolution, as an ordinance. So I just hope everybody knows that it's not like we're making a conclusion on what's being asked of or the topic at hand. So if you could consider that when you vote, that'd be great. Okay? But,
Are we done?
you guys tired? All right.
Yes.
So remember, if you see something, say something, okay? If there's nothing further from council members or staff, this meeting's adjourned at 9:45.